Rosewood Power Station end of the ground. Chris Urey starts forward. Lopez is there as well. As the umpire
on Cody Wilson.
Oh, there it is. A good match-up early. Broadbet will go up against Morrow to get the elimination final underway. Morrow got his hand on it, and he'll get a possession. Handball's out wide to the teammate in Grech. He delivers to half forward. Ainsworth couldn't quite mark. Good spoil in the end. Goes close. Vacinovic was the one who spoiled. And early on, we've got a boundary throw in. Half forward flank build-up for this Moe Lions outfit.
Interesting early, Daryl. Darnell Grech starting up on a wing, now tracking back, taking Lee Stockdale. Lee Stockdale is going to take him deep and be the sole pair inside forward.
Farrell with a beautiful tap down to Blazer. Has a shot on goal. It goes over the back. It might bounce. It goes away from the goal. Kick off the ground by Yench. Jackson Hall is there. Picks it up. Handballs across now to Connor Little. He, by foot, gets it along to Marsh, who runs on well. Little handballs back to Hall, who ran onto it. Over the top hands to North. Good link and good run by the Maroons. They get to half forward. Lopez with a big spoil from the back of Long. Ball now in dispute. Half forward, top of the 50. Urey handballs across to Ambler. Gets run down from behind. Play on. No, holding the ball, said the umpire. And the free kick will go to Tommy Long.
Oh, that was intense early. The transition from Traralgon. 30 seconds ago, under the pump, deep inside their defensive 50, and transition really well. A good tackle there by Tommy Long. That's got to be a push out. No. Farrell takes the mark, misses a handball there to Blaze. He's got time to gather. Goes down the line, doesn't keep it in. No, he doesn't. Goes out of bounds on the full in front of Jacob Wood. And Jackson Hall going to take, looks to be Jackson Hall out there on the outer wing, going to take the free kick. A lot of players have squashed themselves into that wing area, Daryl. Has to go long down the line. Farrell meets the ball hard with a fist. Di Virgilio puts the pressure on, as does Ambler. Spills out to Biffin, running through the middle. Going forward now, the kick goes in behind Reese, and taking a nice mark there for Traralgon was Jake Vacinovic. Comes in board. That's Vacinovic. It was Bench, it might have been. He goes forward to McMahon. Handballs inboard to Hector. Has to touch around his player. Dribbles a kick forward to Collison. They've got numbers. Collison gathers. Handballs inside to Vacinovic. Chips one over the top. Cody Wilson slides in. Marks. Wheels around quickly inside 50. Has a player inside 50 unopposed. Connor Ambler takes the mark. He will kick from just inside 50. Slide angle. Will go down the ground thanks to Carpet Country. Scuzz, any breeze that we can... Oh, he chips one over the top just quickly, sorry. Chips one over the top, finds Hildebrand sliding in. He's a nice kick for goal. He'll kick from just inside 50 himself.
Yeah, not much breeze to speak of whatsoever. If there is any, it's maybe slightly from the right point post towards the left, but pretty quiet actually, boys. Wind-wise, it's perfect conditions.
Well, Hildebrand will come in 45-degree angle, skips in, gets to about 48 himself, and then keeps it to the near side and misses everything. Slams into the fence, out of bounds on the full. No score, 3 minutes in. First quarter. Charlie Renitz has the job of bringing the football back into play. Keeps it towards the top of the 50. Braganolo will fly from the back. Couldn't mark. Ambler underground handball, nicely done. Round the body there to Loudon. Kick goes short though. Good work by Grech to Blazer. Back into the hands of Renitz, who barrels one out, but it's going to come back in. Connor Little marks. Squares it up in board. Jackson Hall's all on his own. They lead to the far side. He looks that way. No options. Well done by the Moe defence. He comes back to this near side. And now they've left this side open. Ambler marks. Handballs over the top to Hector. Will have a shot from 40. It misses. It goes across the face and it's spoiled through. And Tommy Long was the one that put it through. The first score on the board on this Sunday afternoon in the elimination final.
And that's on the Harvey Norman computers. Gippsland scoreboard, and took just short of 4 minutes. Traralgon one behind. Moe yet to score.
A couple of quick things, Darryl, that I've noticed. Moe looking to track back quickly and try and minimise the effect of the run from Traralgon, but they've left a couple spare at the last two entries inside 50 as Moe looked to bring the ball out through Braganolo out the wing. It's a 2-on-1. Ainsworth's got to track back. He does. Gives away a free kick, though. Took his eyes off the ball at the last minute. Adam Yench is going to win the free kick. Right half-back flank for the Maroons. Yeah, as Moe's track back and trying to slow that fast play.
Yep.
But they've left some players inside 50 unopposed. That could come back to haunt them if they don't fix that little area up. There's pressure again from Moe as the kick missed the target. Should see a ball up right on the 50-metre line. Right, a left half-forward flank for Moe. Good work there just to slow the ball out.
Yeah, they did well. They caused a bit of a scrappy sort of an errant kick. And then we'll able to cause the stoppage. So Farrell, beautiful tap over the back. Biffin will run onto this. Can't quite get a clean handle on it. He has to work hard now, working hard at the ground level as well as Di Virgilio. And the ball goes over. Hector was the one for Traralgon, fighting for his teammates. And a boundary throw in. 1 point to Traralgon so far. The ball will come back into play right on the 50 mark for the Lions. Tapped inside there. Handball at the back. Vacenovic gave it to Hector. Squared across. It's a turnover. Picked off by Ainsworth directly in front. Well, Traralgon like to switch it, but they've got to be executing it perfect.
And it was just that little bit of pressure from James Di Virgilio just to put Hector off the kick there. Created the turnover. That's dangerous because Peter Ainsworth's going to line up for goal directly in front, 25 metres out from goal.
Well, this will be a great start for the Lions, kicking towards the city end of the ground here, the rec reserve, and Ainsworth puts it through the middle. That's the way the Lions wanted to start.
Obviously not the best kick across goal there, but how good's the start of this game been? It's been back and forward, up and down the ground by both sides, and when they get it, they both just go really quick. It's a quick handball, and then it's a quick kick, and then they just all run forward, which has been fantastic as Mark Coulson goes on, boys. He's playing along half back at the minute.
And on the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard, 6 minutes into the first quarter, Moe 1 goal straight, 6, Traralgon 1 behind, 1 point.
Loose man behind the play is Collison.
Now he's
dropping off.
Yep, back in the middle. Good work there by Broadbent to tap it down. On there is Musto with a quick kick forward. It's 2-on-2 inside forward 50. Yuri's the one with Braganolo looking for the boundary is Braganolo, and he disguised it well enough. They've got to keep an eye on that spoon drain as they slide pretty close. A free kick.
Oh, too high, I think.
Will go to Braganolo. Too high, says boundary rider Nathan Scurra. So Braganolo keeps it on the grandstand side. Di Virgilio flew and was paid the mark.
Oh.
Only just.
Lucky there.
From Di Virgilio. Biffin tries to cause a 50 against Hildebrand. Didn't work on that occasion. He kicks it 10 metres. It was picked up by Connor Little. And this guy's been impressive so far this year for Traralgon. Kick down to Lopez. Great work by Darnell Grech to spoil and then get the footy himself, and they're on. The kick goes to Ainsworth. He pushes back quickly. Look at the Traralgon numbers go back. They got 4 loose ones back now.
2 of them ran within arm's reach of Peter Ainsworth.
That endangered area, and in the end, Ainsworth, I was going to say, just has to wait because he had no options, and Traralgon win it. And Collison was the one, got it out wide to Marsh, and now to Hall.
Hall running down the outer wing now, looking long. It's a 2-on-1 in favour of Moe. Good contest there, and a free kick working to the front there. Looks to be, is that you? No, it's Loudon. Loudon chips one over the top, tracking back nicely with courage there was Van Dyke. Jaden Van Dyke went back with courage, and we know coming the other way was Rowan Hildebrand. You know he attacks the ball. And Van Dyke releases out to James Blazer. Blazer in board. Scott Van Dyke. Marks on right half-back flank. As Coxedge on for the switch. Elects to go the other side. Dangerous kick over the back. Di Virgilio getting involved early. Great work over the top there of Jay Murphy. Releases a handball. Can't find his teammate there. Turnover. Slipping at a critical moment was Traralgon. And we'll have a ball up. Right up on the boundary line. True centre wing, 8 minutes gone, 5-point margin in favour of the Lions.
Troy, you mentioned there that option to come across to Coxedge. Wouldn't mind seeing it.
Yep.
Just have a look at. They did have a look, and then you called it when he looked that way and decided to go back down the line. So just finding each other out. No one's taking those risks at the moment. As Morrow kicks it high towards half forward flank. Ainsworth has been very busy and very lively. Kicks it inside forward 50. 1-on-1. Reese is there again with a great mark and quickly. And they get it to the near side, which is the grandstand side. Tate Marsh. We know he loves space. His kick, though, is errant. And it doesn't. Lands over the white line and out of bounds on the full. So Darnell Grech will be the one who takes it in front of the home coach's box here, which is Moe. He kicks it high inside 50. Farrell will fly and nearly mark. Collison fumbled at the crucial stage. Allowed Reese, was it, to come in and pick it up. Can't get a clean handball away. In dispute. Back there is Van Dyke. Good work, underground handball there from Hector. Musto does well with strength. Gets a handball out to Hall. And now they've got a bit of time to find Lee Stockdale, who can mark and turn around and play on. Kicks it down the wing and no one's there. And Tommy Long takes the uncontested mark. Switch it and go now.
He does. He goes inboard to Renitz. Renitz has Van Dyke if he wants to use him. It's got to be right on. And the kick is spot on. Van Dyke has got 2 players over the top if he moves quickly.
No.
It's held up nicely there by Loudon. Can come back near side. He does. Goes to Renitz. Renitz can, again, a double switch back.
Perfect.
Opening up the near side. Has Braganolo. He's got Morrow over the top. Further afield.
Oh.
He has Wood if he can use him. Doesn't. Chips one in. Ainsworth being lively. Drops what he really should have taken. Takes on the tackle. Gets taken too high. Wins himself a free kick.
I want him to quicken up a bit, I think.
I want him to quicken up. Opportunity. He goes shallow. Pocket. Van Dijk works off his opponent in Collison.
Free kick. Oh, he's called it the other way.
Against Van Dijk. You see that the other way, did you, Daryl?
Yeah, I actually thought Van Dijk had the jumper pulled, but either way.
Collison wins himself a free kick. Deep in the right back pocket. Calls for players to go long down the line. Tommy Long's got to sit. Flies in from the side. Stockdale soccers it off the ground there for Traralgon. Can't get a real good purchase on it, and Cody Wilson will see this over for a boundary throw-in right in front of the Moe coaches box here at Moore Rec Reserve.
Nathan Scarra for Carpet Country. Crowd is building very, very nicely.
Yeah, there is a big crowd building at the minute, isn't there? There's plenty of people around, but I think you're right about the quick switching from Moe. If they did it a little bit quicker, they could have got out the other side. Yeah,
we see it all the time. Quick kick forward there by Murphy. Goes inside 50, and Collison's been very good early too. Across that half-back line, he took the contested mark. Kicks it out wide. That kick towards Ambler's beautiful kick, and allows Ambler to turn on and play to Vicenovic, who just fumbled, and now he runs through. It wasn't Vicenovic in the end. It was a Gordian. Handball goes from McMahon, goes back now to Ambler. His kick goes forward towards half forward where Hildebrand is, has to bend over. He toes it. North was there to help out, gave it back to Hildebrand. Now he kicks, goes in forward towards Lopez. Big spoil from the back from Long. Front and square was McMahon. Free kick. Advantage was paid. Traralgon got one. It's 1-on-1. Stockdale marks. No. Wood spoils. Play on. 3-on-1 in favour of Moe, but Traralgon are good with numbers. Burge handballs inboard to Lopez. Snaps around the body and gets the goal. Persistence pays off for the Maroons.
How's the difference there, boys? We were speaking about Moe, how they just probably went a little bit slow with their switch. But Collison took the mark and took a risk through the middle parts of the ground, and it just opened it up. I know they didn't score off the back of it, but it's how they got it in their forward half, and it's how they eventually scored the goal from.
And on the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard, that goal at the 12-minute mark of the first quarter takes Traralgon back to a 1-point lead, 1-1-7 to Moe, 1 goal straight.
Boys, if the first 12 minutes of this game is just a bit of a taster for what the rest of the game is going to have for us, we're in for a cracking day, as Moe slow to get back in, have only out 3 in the middle, and it's Di Virgilio has to take the ruck. And wins it. Tom Fleming it was, sorry, wins it, but poor. Numbers out favour now. Traralgon going through there is McMahon, gets it inside 50, going up from the side is Braganolo, comes to ground level, fierce tackle on Loudon, holding the ball, going the way of Darnell Grech. As the pressure was coming there from the Maroons, again a little slow to move. Hitting up nicely there was Reese, but it comes again at ground level. It's Traralgon. Collison, you know he hits targets, finds Stockdale, goes wide inside 50. Hildebrand dives with outstretched left hand, can't reel it in. Van Dijk can gather, fumbles at the critical time, and then he could have given away a free kick for in the back, doesn't. Umpire calls for a ball up. 48 metres from Traralgon's goal. And 13, just ticked over 13 minutes into this first term.
Sometimes you just got to take the option, the easy option, and it becomes a creative one. Great work from the stoppage from Hildebrand. Snap around the body in front. Couldn't quite mark. It was Lopez. Handball's back out. Now to Wilson. Snapping again. There's 2 snaps around the body. Wilson's Maroons have got 2 in a row now.
Yeah, I think you're right, Scott. I wrote it down as you said it. They just need to hit the easy option. I think Moe coming out of their back half. They're trying to go long nearly all the time instead of just hitting the one that they need to, taking their time or getting some runners behind and linking up. But just need to have a bit more composure out of their back half.
Traralgon now have a 7-point lead, 14 minutes into the first quarter. Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard. Traralgon 2-1-13, Moe 1 goal straight, 6.
Troy, 14 minutes in, it's costly to have 1 less in the middle part of the ground.
And the 1 less was not their ruckman as well.
Crazy stuff. This time, Farrell knocks it forward. McMahon off the half-back flank was the one who attacked it and will win himself the free kick for being held. Squares it up. He goes short, really, to no one. Collison's been busy early. Handles over the shoulder. He's got a little bit of pressure now. Both the Maroons go to ground. They try and lock it in. Can Murphy squeeze it out somehow? Well, he can't. In the end, Wilson does nicely to Yench, who chips it over the top. Nice little kick. And found Rowan Hildebrand
There's that 1 metre test I was talking about. Traralgon win it in the clinches, and then they can break it out to their runners out in space as Ambler attacks the ball front and square. Touched off the boot. I don't know if the umpire heard that. Braganolo gets a good fist on it though. Loudon overruns it. Biffin doesn't. Chain of handballs ends up with Blazer. His kick is smothered. Ambler gathers. He's been lively as well. Handball's back. Ends up with McMahon. Kick around the corner. Should be. Flying in. Tyson Biffin takes a hanger on his teammate in Pearce. Goes backwards. Has Renitz. Very took that one very easily. Switches again out to Darnell Grech. Has a player out wide. Finds him. And that man is Hayden Prestige. Now they've slowed it up. Comes back inboard to Grech. Hits the ground. Umpire said he marked it. This is that double switch they did previously. Tommy Long. He goes long down the middle. That's a great kick. Finds Farrell. Farrell to Blazer. Blazer gets met with some pressure front on. Handballs one over the top to Wood. Wood back inboard to Blazer. Sockers it out of midair. Finds Reese. Reese ducks around on the left boot. This is where the turnover has come. As Jench handballs into Hector. Hector links up with Marsh. Marsh can run.
What a game.
And does through the wing.
Well, Marsh, he has 2 bounces. It comes back to him on the nice surface. Kicks over the top. Contest. Burge does well. Marks. Handballs over the top to Yuri. He can turn, deliver to the forward. It's just on his head and allow Renitz, the defender, to hold it up and take the mark. The switch is on again. They come to the near side. Getting back to help out was North, but the numbers there for McKay. For Moe, delivers nicely to Biffin. He can get it over the top quickly. They do. Transition football is amazing at the moment. It's Wilson has it for the Lions. Traralgon have done well to roll back and man everyone up, so Wilson has to go slow. Eventually goes to the tall target in Farmer, who gets up and marks. Gets up over the top of his opponent, chips it over the top, goes there to Ainsworth. 1, 2 bites, couldn't quite get it. Good spoil there by Hector. Handballs out the back. Hall has it, chips it over the top to Hildebrand, close to the boundary line. Is it in? No, out of bounds on the full.
I would have liked that kick from Farmer to go there as a 2-on-1 a little bit deeper inside 50. He went shallow and Ainsworth couldn't get the handle on it.
Tyson Biffin kicks to that shallow pocket. Farrell will be the one at the back. No one can mark, big spoil, and it goes over for a boundary throw in.
Early inside 50s, Paul.
It's 9 apiece, but Moe's had last 7 have been scoreless.
Well, we're 2-1-13 Traralgon. Moe are 1 straight 6, so the margin is 7 points there. It's been a great opening first quarter from the stoppage. It was kicked off the ground by Collison, but it might come back. Braganolo had it, gave it quickly now to Di Virgilio. Flying shot at goal. It's going! It is through the middle! And that's what they wanted from the stoppage, the Lions. They get one back.
You can't discount that tap from Dylan Farrell then, boys. It just opened up the space over the back. I think it was Jacob Wood that ran onto it, but just the tap work back into the middle part of the corridor, which allowed the fat side to get opened up for a nice goal.
And the lead of Traralgon is back to 1 point at the 18-minute mark of the first quarter. Traralgon to 2-1-13 on the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard. Moe 2 goals straight, 12.
So Farrell and Broadbent will do battle in the middle. It's been a great contest. 18 minutes into the first quarter. Biffin now goes into the middle and wins the stoppage. Kicks a nice drop punt to the top of the square. Goes back under pressure. Farmer roves it, puts it on the boot. A goal, 2 goals within 20 seconds. The Lions are up and about.
Geez, they can score quick. Both sides can score quick, but how good was that? Straight out of the middle. Biffin's been fantastic along half back. He goes into the middle, wins a nice, clean, easy exit out of the middle part of the ground, goes forward, and Farmer finishes it off nicely.
And Moe now have a 5-point lead on the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard. I've got both those goals down as in the 18th minute. That's how quick it was. 3 straight 18 Moe to Traralgon 2-1-13.
Well, you'll be right, Paul. I won't doubt you with those. As we get to the middle again, this time Morrow taps it down, but Wilson was the one who shagged it off the top of the rack there. Kick towards Ambler. Couldn't quite win the football. Pearce does well at ground level. And locks it in, trying to squeeze it out is Musto, does so nicely. Stockdale with a quick kick, goes in towards Yuri direction. Braganolo gets around him, no, he got slung after he got rid of the football. Play on, Wilson got crunched by Renitz. Morrow goes in, puts his body on the line. Broadbent helps out, bobbles around the football, still now in dispute, numbers everywhere. Umpire eventually will cross his arm and ball it up. 19.5 minutes in, 5-point margin in favour of Moe.
This is what knockout footy is all about, fellas. It's red hot in the clinches. Morrow gets thrown off the ball, spills out the back. Wilson loses his footing. Tapped off the ground there by Di Virgilio. Goes hard again. Met solid from the front. Great work there through Gordian. Handballs forward. Pushing the back there, going the way of Traralgon. At the top of the 50. He's going to go to Hildebrand. Hildebrand looking forward.
Good numbers, Moe, in defence.
Goes in the low press direction.
Oh.
That's a nice lead and a nice pass. No mark. Had to dive at the end. Blazer back there mopping up. Releases with a barrel. Clears the area. Van Dyke. Collison with his eyes on it as well. Drops it. Goes inboard. Van Dyke follows up his effort. Does really well. Takes on a player. Goes backwards to Blazer. Blazer gathers. Goes wide
Nice
to half
kick.
forward. That's nice. Ainsworth ducks inside his opponent. Now he can go inside 50. One-on-one contest. Jackson Hall back there. Marked by Fleming.
Oh.
Not very often you'll see Jackson Hall beaten in a one-on-one contest. But Tom Fleming back in the side here for the Lions. Just outworked him to the drop zone and took a nice strong mark. Looks to get Moe back out to an 11-point margin, 45-degree angle, 40 metres out from goal.
Couple of good moves. One of those is Fleming forward, Biffin in the middle as Fleming puts it on its way. He loves it off the boot. And the Moe Lions supporters love it as well. They've got 3 within 3 minutes.
What a massive mark that was. No one hits Jackson Hall one-on-one, but he's just like so strong, isn't he? Fleming, he's a big man. He's only young, but he's strong. But how good's this finals footy, boys? Both teams are coming to the bench. They're both absolutely spent. They've only gone 20 minutes in the first quarter.
And it's 11-point lead to Moe on the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard. 21-minute mark of the first quarter. 4 straight, 24 the Lions. Traralgon are 2-1-13.
Great response. Big moments are brought to you by Monticello's. They're back in the middle it goes. No one can get a real clean tap out. Morrow was the one that had a hand on it, but couldn't take advantage of that, and we'll have another stoppage.
And after I said that Moe had gone 7 inside 50s without a score, they had the last 3 have been goals.
Well, persistence does pay off. Prestige there from this stoppage. Couldn't get it. Quick work by McMahon to do the inside-out drop punt. Goes in the direction. They just let Redditz mark it, and he just dropped it. And allowed Ambler was the one who let him go for it. Swooped on the football. Back towards the goal square. Yuri one hand. Great spoil by Braganolo from the Moe side. And we've got a boundary throw in 15 metres around from their goal.
Which one did you have pre-game, Darryl, to line up on Yuri? Because that Braganolo-Yuri matchup has been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Di Virgilio we were talking about, weren't we?
Yeah, well, I had Yuri in the middle, and he's played forward mainly. So from that stoppage, Blazer won it, tried to boot the football towards the boundary line. Prestige went to ground, so did Marsh. Marsh gets a little bit of help now from Hector. Blazer followed up, went to ground. That's a free kick. And no, it's gone the other way.
Kicking in danger.
Oh, taking his legs out maybe.
Blazer
Anyway.
misses a target though. Marsh gathers for Traralgon. Going to go back inside 50. Again, numbers favour Moe, and Rennett's on the third juggling attempt. Takes a nice defensive mark. Goes inboard.
He should have.
Can go wide
now
now
switch.
to Tommy Long. Tommy Long can play onto the near side if he wants. He has some numbers outnumbered here. Goes that way now. He has Darnell Grech. Is it get there? Yes, it does. Yuri tracks back. Can't get there in time.
Over the top.
Traralgon have tracked back nicely to the near side. Grech looking for Farrell. Has 3 to beat. Flying in from the side there was Jensch. Putting his head over the ball is Murphy. Tackled strongly and holding the ball there. Great work there by Burge. Wins himself a free kick. 70 metres out from goal. We'll go inside 50 there for the Maroons.
So Grech and Stockdale's a good matchup as well, isn't it?
Certainly is. Burge goes forward. Numbers there again favour Moe. At ground level, Ambler's been dangerous. Yuri in from the side. Spills to Ambler. Back to Yuri. Snaps it around the corner. Tommy Long does his best goalkeeping impression. Can't quite gather. Braganolo can. Releases. Again Blazer from out inside 50. Clears the area. Has Jensch. Jensch to Burge. Can't gather. Murphy there for Moe. Underground hand pass looking for Biffin. Pressure is red hot. Spills out now to McMahon. McMahon looking forward. Should find Stockdale. And does. 70 metres from goal.
Morrow stands the mark. Moe have got some good numbers back. They haven't got much area to work with to the Maroons. So they just bomb it in. Lee Stockdale was looking to create something. Kicks it high. Inside it goes. Good spoil from Rennett's over the back. Finds the boundary line. Allows the troops to roll in. Reset and go again.
James Blazer, 12 disposals this quarter, 9 kicks, 3 handballs.
Yep, been absolutely on fire for Gippsland Mercedes. Has James Blazer early on, leading from the front as they lead it by 11 points, Moe. 24 minutes are gone. Stoppage inside 50 from this boundary throw. And again, Blazer through strength. Got a handball. Biffin who had a big kick towards outside 50. Ainsworth did well. Release the run of Murphy. Kicks nowhere, though, because Collison is all on his own at centre-half back and takes the mark. Comes back inboard. Just misses a couple of targets. They've got numbers there to easily get through it. Cameron was the one who drove it inside forward 50 with a beautiful kick. Bailey Cameron spotted a needle in a haystack, and that needle was Michael Burge. And he went up and took the mark uncontested in the end.
It's like all the Maui players knew that they had numbers back there and just looked around and go, nah, my teammate would mark it, and no one went for it at all. Michael Burge left unopposed. The
utility ruckman forward midfielder from 45. Now he's a goal kicker. Michael Burge gets one back for the Maroons at the 25-minute mark.
What a game, boys. We've had how many goals? That's 7 goals now in the first 25 minutes. But you just feel that, Paul, you'd be able to back this up maybe. The centre breaks, Traralgon seem to be on top there. Just when they get in their back half, Maui seem to be able to get the ball out and move the footy forward a lot quicker.
Traralgon have had 4 centre breaks to Maui 2.
Yeah.
And on your Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard, with laptops now under $490 at Harvey Norman Computers.
It's 4 straight 24 to Maui. They're leading by 5 points over Traralgon with 3-1-19.
Back in the middle, Morrow gets a tap down. Wood loses his footing. Under pressure now. Cody Wilson in there for the Maroons. Wood again burrows in and deemed holding the ball.
Well, Hildebrand knew straight away that was holding the ball, and the umpire agreed with him. Turned around and said that's holding the ball.
Wilson comes lateral to Collison. Collison plays on through the wing, looking for his teammate in Uri. Bounces in front. Braganolo sees him over the line for a boundary throw. And I didn't feel that Jacob Wood dragged the ball back in. It's almost bounced back to him.
Yeah, agree. Hildebrand saw something we didn't. 2 coaches going very well early on. Mark Collison, first game back in about 12 weeks of football.
9 disposals.
And that's in the first quarter. Wilson at the stoppage couldn't quite do so. Yep. Bounced in his hand. Got tackled.
And James Blazer, Paul?
13 now.
So, like you said, Daryl, both coaches really leading from the front.
Yep. Over the back was Broadbent, got his hand on it. Mustoes tries to do some bullying work and crash his way through, couldn't do so. As we'll have another stoppage right on the point of the half-forward line for the Maroons. Morrow just took it out the ruck, and that will do it. The first quarter, well, that's some sort of quarter in an elimination final. Maui are 4 goals straight, 24. No breeze at all here at the Rec Reserve in Morwell. Traralgon a 3-1-19. A cracking way to start this elimination final. It is Gippsland Live on TRFM, and it's all for Harvey Norman Electrical.
Kennedy, Franklin, Brown and Rewalt. They're all leading goal kickers, but they haven't met you. Kick for cash at the TRFM Gippsland League Grand Final, and you could score $5,000. Thanks to the Isuzu D-Max from Gippsland Isuzu Ute, Saskia Way Morwell and Princess Highway Traralgon. Each Friday, we'll select one lucky winner to have a crack at a 5K kick. TRFM's Kick for Cash for Gippsland Isuzu Ute. Enter now at trfm.com.au. LNCT 10285.
The roar of the crowd, the final siren, and an ice-cold beer. Portosalis and the footy go together like a...
So far, they've done it very well, Troy Makepeace.
They have, Daryl, as that is the siren. Second quarter is underway. Ruckman going to go at it. Broadbent and Morrow. Morrow taps it over the top. Coming hard off the line as Hector leaves it behind, as does Di Virgilio. Spills out to Van Dyke, bundled off the ball illegally, says the umpire, and wins himself a free kick. That's Jaden Van Dyke. Or goes with a dangerous high kick on the lateral. Working back there is Marsh. Marsh, and for Moe there is Luke McKay. McKay dives on it, and umpire says both players had a handle on that, and we'll ball up just on left half forward flank, just inside the centre square here in favour of Moe. Morrow protects the drop zone. Blazer can't gather, and players fall again on top of the footy. We'll have another ball up as well. Interesting, Paul mentioned the fact that there was minimal stoppages in the first. The first term only went 27 minutes, even though there was a 7 goals kicked. There's Ruckman going, getting his head taken off, but no free kick for Traralgon. Feedback handball goes to Luke McKay. His scrappy kick forward. Cody Wilson cuts it off. Worked off the ball there by Di Virgilio. He's tackled straight away.
Oh, holding the ball.
And holding the ball. Umpire deemed that he had hands clear. Didn't get the ball away legally. And Darren White's going to win the free kick for the Maroons.
Darren White kicks it out towards the wing. McMahon goes up and marks strongly in front of the closing there. Tommy Long on the wing, close to the boundary line here. No score in the opening couple of minutes of the second quarter as McMahon goes down the line, and reading that better was Rennett's. Landed in his chest as the two forwards went for underneath the footy. Rennett's decides to go back down the line where it come from. Big fly from Cameron and a big spoil back inboard. It allowed Collison to handle over the top now to Wilson. He drives his right foot into it. Drop punt goes inside forward 50. Lee Stockdale had to become the defender. Van Dyke was at ground level. Squeezed a handle out to Darnell Grech. The kick over the top is good. They got numbers. Di Virgilio is one of those. Picks it up. Handballs inboard dangerously. Missed the target. Stockdale now. Traralgon are away through Uri. They've got Hall on the fat side. They come there now. It's about 60 metres out for goal. Hall swings around. Wood closes. Can't put the tackle on. Hall delivers. Missed the target. They go again through McMahon. He handballs back to Traralgon. Hector lowers the eyes and finds Stockdale 48 metres out, and will go back and fancy himself right on 50. You'd think he'd have to kick this, and Lee Stockdale is up to it.
He's a good shot for goal, Lee Stockdale. Just on a slight angle. Will kick, I'd say, just on or just outside 50, so we'll need to catch every piece of this. Great work by Jackson Hall on the boundary. Makes his way, kicks from just inside, hooks it to the right, can't bring it back. Players contest. Uri tries to sock it off the ground, and Ben Murrow had his hands on the ball when he tried to do that. Gives away a free kick. Switches a play to Scott Van Dyke. Near side back pocket. Goes inside the corridor. Misses Braganolo. Danger. Falls out to White. White snaps around the corner. Straight through the middle. That's one way to make them pay. Heard him on the scoreboard with a turnover like that.
Well, they've had 3 chances, haven't they, Traralgon? It's just been 3, just probably decision-making errors from Moe going back through the middle. There was one probably 3 or 4 minutes ago. There was just a high ball in the middle and some handballs that just didn't hit targets through the middle part of the ground, and Traralgon eventually made them pay.
And on the Green and Gippsland scoreboard, that's another lead change. I'll do a count on those at the moment. It might be 4, I think. 5 lead changes, thanks, Troy. The 3-minute mark, 4-1-25 is Traralgon, and Moe are 4 straight 24.
Number 2 stats man in the business coming through with the goods, Troy, mate.
I thought it was interesting earlier, so I thought I might just take those stats down, see how many times the lead changes today.
Morrow up against Broadbent. Good work in the middle from White. He's been released in the middle now. Handball out the back there was from Little. Gave it to Hector. He's kicked towards the boundary line. Falling over, though, was long and lucky because McMahon was about to be off to the races. And the ball just took a right angle bounce and went over. Right in front of the grandstand here at Morwell. Not quite heritage listed, but nearly well could be. The margin is back to a point, and it's in favour of the Maroons. Morrow just took it out of the ruck. Handball to no one, though. Van Dyke, that was Jaden. Kicks it towards half forward and towards his brother in Scott. Couldn't mark it because Collison was there as well. Jacob Wood was the one fighting for it at ground level. As always, a previous Tunnel Rat Club member.
What I like,
a cheerio to Brenton White.
What I like about Colo's game is that he's not going back as the spare man. He's being really defensive and working it off nicely. Is getting it out of the pack there is Cox Edge. Inside 50 for the Lions. Handball spills out to Blazer.
High.
Blazer shrugs a tackle. Should be advantage. Farmer. No, he turned around.
Coach.
Don't take advantage of the coach, you reckon, Scuzz?
Yep, that's why.
James
Anyone else he would have played on then.
Gee, Marsh's run down from behind was super. And just at the last minute, I think
wonder why he went that high.
Yeah, well, I reckon Blazer may have felt it and then just sort of hunched.
Did the old Selwood...
Yeah, not quite.
Roll of the shoulder? No?
I think it was more experience there from Blazer as he puts it on its way, and he's pushed it away to the far side. And it's a minor score. We have it all locked up here at Morwell.
4-1-25 apiece on the Green and Gippsland scoreboard, 5.5 minutes into the second quarter.
Collison and Blazer has been an interesting battle. They're not playing on each other, but gee, they're having a possession shootout at the moment. As Blazer played onto himself, kicked onto himself, got out wide. Ambler was there to the boundary. Underground handballs work, except the boundary line was close. Hector put it out of bounds. Another boundary throw in Troy.
Yeah, you're spot on there, Darryl. Both coaches trying to lead from the front, trying to will their players along across the line. Boundary throwing, left half forward flank for Moe. Burge in the ruck, gives away a free kick to Morrow, who'd worked to the front. And Morrow should get the ball inside 50 here for the Lions. Feeds the ball back to Biffin. We know he's a good kick. He goes with an up and under inside 50 though. Farrell worked his opponent under the ball nicely in Cameron. Players appealing for a push out there, but I think it was just good body work. Cameron committed to the contest a little bit too early and came down before the ball had got there. Farrell read it nicely. Takes a nice mark, 45-degree angle, 30 metres out from goal, kick maybe from 25. And will get Moe back in front. By how far is a matter of this kick, and he kicks it straight through the middle. Moe back in front by 6 points.
That's why Morrow's such an important player for Moe, isn't he? Because it allows Farrell to go forward, and it's just that bomb kick if they need to. The long kick in is a head or half a foot bigger than anyone else in that forward 50, and he's just got the big long arms that can stretch up, and he can take a mark.
So that's lead change number 6 now, Troy.
It is.
And that's come at the 7-minute mark of the second quarter. The Green and Gippsland scoreboard has Moe as 5-1-31, leading Traralgon 4-1-25.
Ball comes back into the middle.
Your eyes are just darting elsewhere, Daryl.
I'm just getting live updates out of the TRF game, the junior football game there, but I'll keep you up to date with that if I can around the grounds, Troy.
A throw there going the way of Moe. Quick release from the centre clearance. Van Dyke missed. Ducks inside. Now looks measured inside 50.
There he is again.
Farrell falls down to Blazer. Has Ambler there. Ambler holds on. Feeds a handball out to DiVigilio. He's under pressure as well. Great work there from Connor Little. Releases pressure, a bit of an up and under. Broadbent had his name all over that one. He had Wood
David
there.
and Goliath.
We know Wood's very good. And then sells Wood some candy. Handballs forward to Ambler. Ambler misses a target there in Hector. Pressure from Coxedge. Hector has enough time there to gather and handball out to Marsh. Marsh goes backward to Collison. Collison back to Marsh.
Good work.
Great work. They release now. Running and bouncing. He's got pressure now. He's got to have the wheels on.
Good chase.
Great chase, but he's got enough time. And Lopez worked his opponent. No, very similar, I reckon, Darryl. Very similar to Farrell at the other end. Lopez worked his man under the ball. Chips forward and finds Burge, who has worked into the forward pocket there. Right in front of the windsock on the outer forward pocket here at Traralgon Rec Reserve.
How good was the wing pick-up and possession by Collison and the handball with Marsh? It was handball to Marsh, back to Collison, then over the top as he drew.
It was just enough to draw Hayden Prestige, wasn't it?
Burgess shot and goal goes across the face and end up punched through for a minor score, Paul.
That takes Traralgon to 4-2-26. They trail Moe by 5 points. The Lions are 5-1-31.
Yeah, you're right. It was just enough to cause Prestige to make a decision. Turnover inside 50, Troy.
Yeah, danger again for the Lions inside their defensive 50. Turnover. Vicenovic puts it in the path of Stockdale, knocks it out and ends up with Ambler.
Oh, great smother.
Great smother off the line there from Coxedge. Again, still under pressure. Wood ducks inside a tackler, now releases from 50. Working up there looks to be Pearce. Great work back there. No, it was Fleming. Fleming and Wilson there. Wilson shovels the handball out. Falls though to McMahon. McMahon misses Hector, but he's got time. Has Hall in the corridor. Wheels around on the left though. Goes down the line. And we'll find the boundary line in front of Matt Pearce. It was Tom Fleming working up hard off the half-forward flank there for the Lions. Boundary throw-in 80 metres around from Traralgon's goal.
Great game of football here on Sunday between two arch rivals in the elimination final, as you'd expect. As the ball comes back into play, Morrow with the backhanded tap, hit it towards the Traralgon goals. It's just put their defence under a bit of pressure. Tommy Long with one, don't argue, then got through a tackle. Coxedge will switch it out wide to Prestige. He can mark, but he can't play on. Good manning the mark there from Marsh. Kicks it further afield to the wing. Blazers had some sort of afternoon, Paul. Coming up to...
That's number 16.
16 touches, and we're in 10 minutes into the second quarter.
I just caught it at the last minute. I think Collison may have been his opponent there, as that kick's going to miss a target. And McMahon reads this nicely. Collison just dropped off at the last minute. That would be an interesting matchup too, to see the coaches go head-to-head as well.
Blazer at half forward, Collison at half back. But that kick from McMahon goes back to the winner. Braganolo's been a star defender for the Gippsland Mercedes team this afternoon.
We did say, Daryl, you were darting right, looking at the phone. You're getting some updates from your son's playing in a preliminary final as we speak down at Traff. Can you give us a score update?
Well, I can't give you a score update, but apparently my young bloke may have had his nose smashed to pieces and blood's everywhere.
No.
But he's strapped up and he's back out there, as I'd expect.
He wouldn't expect that from his dad.
Back here at Moore Rec Reserve, releasing there was for Traralgon was Tate Marsh down the line. Contest on the left half back flank. Coming in board there for Moe. Finds Wood. Wood has a player in the corridor. That's Scott Van Dyke. Runs back with a fly to the ball. Ducks inside his opponent. Now he's going to go inside 50. Has Farrell in the goal square by himself. Spills it. Feeds a handball back to Fleming on the left boot. Snaps it around the corner. Going to bounce towards goal. And dribbles through.
What a goal.
Great work, Tom Fleming. Transition from the Lions. Gets it inside 50. And a goal is the result.
And once again, it's Farrell up in that forward half. We've seen it against Maul a couple of weeks ago, boys, when Farrell, he gets on top down there because he just runs and competes all the time, and that's all they expect from him. It just allows Fleming and these type of guys to get at his feet, rove the ball, and snap beautiful goals like he just did then. And
on the Greenham Gippsland scoreboard, it's back to an 11-point lead for Maui at the 12-minute mark of the second quarter. They are 6-1-37, leading Traralgon 4-2-26.
I can tell you the around-the-ground score if you like, Troy. Yes. It's a dour 2 points to 5 point struggle in the under 14.
Finals footy.
Yeah, that's right.
That's exactly right.
Half time.
Margin is similar here, but there are goals scored as going forward again for Maui. Going inside 50, goes
Here
over
he
the
is
back
again.
wall. It is that man in
Farmer now. Farrell was the one. It's Farrell, Farmer and Fleming. They're causing havoc for Traralgon because they don't know who they are, and neither do we.
And I nearly said Flaming.
6-2-38, Murray, Greenham Gippsland scoreboard. Traralgon 4-2-26, 12, almost 13 minutes.
Vicenovic takes the short option to White, who can chip it over the top. They've got numbers now. Good work by McMahon. They're outside 50. Kicks towards the wing with a low dart. Missed the target, though. And taking that mark out there is Long. Squares it up inboard. This is what we like. Tomorrow, right in the middle of the ground. He's got options. Left, right. Decides to go laterally backwards a little bit to Rennitz. Pearce tried to shepherd. He's going to get the footy now. Rennitz will chip. No. Just waited. Now he eventually gets it out there to Pearce. And he takes the mark. He's on his half-back flank. Kicks. He's looking to kick down the line. They're patient with the football, the Lions. They lead it by 12 points. Rennitz it was. Goes backwards to Darnell Grech. He's got the whole entire 50. That's his defensive 50 to himself. Gets it out wide to Braganolo. Grech will run on. He might get the overlap handball. No. Good work by Braganolo. To wait and then kick. Towards Reese. Oh, no mark. Front and square was Wood. Gets to 50. Left foot delivery. Missed the target. Fleming does well. Can he get it into the goal square? Bailey Cameron under pressure. Yes, he is. Rushed it through for a minor score.
That's a 13-point lead to Murray on the Greenham Gippsland scoreboard. 6-3-39 to Traralgon 4-2-26.
Well, short kick again is allowed. It goes to Hall, who kicks it high and long to the wing. It's 2-on-1. Lopez in the front spot. At the back was loud and no one could mark it. Great work by the Lions. It was 2-on-1. They win it. Braganolo's kick was smothered. Down at ground level there looks to be Burge working overtime. And just, are we following Tim North? No, he's had a very quiet afternoon at the moment, Tim. Was a few question marks. Nathan Scurra, did you hear that during the week around Tim North playing this afternoon?
No, didn't hear that, Darryl. I can't give you much there.
Thanks for the support.
No worries.
It goes in that Tim North direction, and right on cue, there he is. Takes an absolute cracking mark. Handball's on quickly. Delivery beautiful. And Hildebrand marks. He can go over the top if he wants. He's got a teammate over the top. It's Yuri, and he marks it 15 metres out. Could nearly get 50 as Darnell Grech closed. And the umpire said no.
Bit hard to slow down.
Well, it is. You're right. Darnell Grech's a quick player.
No malice in there at all either. He just got there just a fraction late and took Yuri down after he took a nice strong mark. We're sitting right behind this one. We'll have a good look at it.
Big moments for Monticello's, Troy.
Should not be a problem. Yuri makes his way in, hooks it straight through the middle. Nearly hit that bloke in the back of the head. He wasn't watching. And Traralgon get a response, a much-needed response, reduce the margin.
And basically it was all from Tim North, two boys. Like that Scud said, hadn't had any impact at all.
That's how we lift them here in
mate, you got him up.
Live.
But what a ripping game we've got at the minute. Just a wide open forward line then, wasn't it, for Hildebrand to lead up. It was a beautiful kick to him, and then a nice kick over the top. But that was a great lead-up play there from Traralgon.
That's on the Greenham Gippsland scoreboard. We're at 15-minute mark of the second quarter. 7-point lead to Murray, 6-3-39 to Traralgon, 5-2-32.
Umpire about to get things underway after that Chris Yuri goal at the 16-minute mark. Broadbent and Morrow. Broadbent got the tap out. Morrow does well, though. Just fumbled it and allowed Wilson to come in. He sweeps a handball out wide to Tate Marsh, who has been busy on that wing. Kicks it nicely. Found Hildebrand. Too far out to score, you'd think. As Hildebrand just chips one on the leading target. Burge is the one. Great work. Back there by Tommy Long. And he is getting younger and younger, like a red wine does. As Tommy Long with a beautiful kick out wide to Cox Edge. On the defensive 50, Makepeace calls him to play on quickly. He does just that. Found Wilson. They're outside 50. The kick will go towards the wing or inboard. Wilson keeps it close to the boundary line. Wood goes up. Elevation is good still. Takes the mark. Looks down the line again. Delivers to half-forward flank. Beautiful kick. Reese can't quite hold onto it. Wilson in stoppage does well to Musto. Back to Wilson, who ran on. His kick, beautiful down the line, and finds Rowan Hildebrand. Half-forward flank build-up. Chips it towards the top of the 50, where Lopez marks in front of his eyes. Moe roll back in defence. They square it up. Good kick from Lopez. Found Musto. Pushes to the outside. Out there is Ambler. Is it? Marks. And it's not. It is White, who have the same boots on this afternoon, and White will have a shot. 17 minutes gone.
A bit of a concern for the Murray backline. That's 6 marks inside 50 this quarter by Traralgon.
Yeah, they're just they are very smooth when they go forward, and picking the right options is the one. They're not just blazing away. As Darren White will come in, slide angle from about 45, puts it on its way with no breeze to speak of, and the umpire goes, that is all clear. And we are going goal for goal this afternoon here in the elimination final.
Yeah, you do feel, though, Traralgon, when they do go forward, it's either nice and composed as they go in, or when they do go in, it's just a one-on-one contest in their forward 50. They do look better when they go forward. I reckon Moe around the ball seem to be playing a lot better. Just that second kick out of their back half. They're good when they get it outside 50. It's just that next one to break the line into their forward 50 they're breaking down at the minute.
And that's a second goal to Darren White this quarter, bringing the margin back to 1 point. Moe 6-3-39, Traralgon 6-2-38. Greenham Gippsland scoreboard.
Back in the middle. Ruckman, I'll call this one square. Blazer putting the pressure on. Over the top is Morrow. Socket off the ground by Stockdale. Goes in the way of Broadbent. He tries to knock it forward. Working back there was Murphy. Slung out of the pack, goes away of Musto. Murphy again follows up his efforts. Musto leading the race, works off the ball by Murphy. Just misses a handle there. Indeed, Virgilio going through the middle. Clearing barrel from Broadbent. Goes just inside 50. Long working back there, as was Loudon. Comes inside to Stockdale though for Traralgon. Gets it on the boot from the left-hand side. Hits the left-hand guy behind post. Out of bounds on the full. Hayden Prestige to take the free kick there for the Lions. Again, that transition really well from the Maroons.
Gee, danger kick in. 2-on-1. Braganolo's the one. Big spoil. Might come back. That's a free kick in the back every day of the week to Jackson McMahon. And the big ruckman, Dylan Farrell, just a little bit overzealous there as he wants to go on with the McMahon. And Farrell maybe just professionally just slowing things up so his defenders can come back and help. As McMahon is about 55, 60 metres out. Kicks it to the point of the square. It's got a fair bit of carry on it. Big pack in there. Lopez. Just the presence down there to be strong and to be tall at the right time. The hands went up and he got it at the highest point. No one really flew and Lopez took the mark. A pretty comfortable one in the end.
It certainly was. He set himself. He created that body contact and then just put himself right at the right point of the ball drop. Lopez, ball on the boot, straight over the goal umpire's head. I'd already written that one in. I didn't want to say that, just in case.
Yeah, lucky it wasn't Scud writing that in. He would have shanked it. But there is a slight breeze, boys, the last 5 minutes, sort of heading down towards that Traralgon end. It's not much. I reckon it'll be a goal, maybe 2 at the most. But there is a slight breeze going down that way. Once again, just Moe coming out of their back half. They're just not having a great period at the moment. They just need to either switch the play or just hold on to it. But the last one there, they just bombed it long to Braganolo, who had a 3 or 4 on 1, and it just gave them no chance. But just that back, just the way they move the ball out of their back half, is where they're getting let down at the minute.
Lead change number 7, I believe, Troy, at the 20-minute mark of the second quarter. Traralgon back in the lead by 5 points on the Greenham Gippsland scoreboard. The Maroons are 7-2-44, leading Moe 6-3-39.
So Traralgon will just roll one back, but Moe will match that and go with them as well.
Any update on the young fella's nose there, Darryl?
No, not as yet. I'll get one for you at half-time, no doubt. It is half-time in that game. As Broadbent, Farrell went up in the ruck duties. No one could really win a clean one. Traralgon run forward, though, with numbers.
We're going backwards.
Going backwards, sorry. And North, couple of chains of handball. Back in the hands of Yench. Goes to the Collison. Kanachi's back and gets around a couple of would-be tacklers. Goes across now in front of Wilson. Biffin will close with speed. Wilson grabbed it, went to ground. Did well. Got up in the end. Kicked it inside 50 to Musto. Couldn't quite dive and get it close to the boundary line. But it's a boundary throw-in, and you're right, they went backwards to go forwards, but, gee, when they went forwards, they went quickly.
They went very quick, and really strong work there by Cody Wilson over the ball. Tyson Biffin is no easy feat to keep off the footy. He did that really well. He did go to ground, but kept control of the footy the whole way and got it forward. Boundary throw-in. Stockdale hitting the packet hard. Toe pokes it forward. Biffin, that man there, no, that was Pearce. An up and under kick. Umpire says play on, not carry the distance. That's Biffin. Does really well under pressure. Goes to Coxedge. Looks the handball forward to DiVigilio. Pressure good from the Maroons. Can they create another turnover? Moe, there it is. Turnover now. Hacked inside 50 there from the Maroons. Under pressure. Oh, getting a nasty bounce was Yuri. Rennes puts his head over the ball. Still the pressure comes. Grech releases through Long. Long still not out of danger as yet. Standing underneath the ball there is that man, DiVigilio. He's been good since coming back in for the Lions.
Been important, both those boys.
Very important.
Fleming and DiVigilio.
Yeah. Releases wide to his coach in James Blazer.
Just been a little bit quiet the last 10 minutes. Hasn't touched it 20 times in that 10 minutes. As Blazer kicks towards the wing, close to the boundary line. Reese was the one who flew. He's just having a half a day at the moment, but it got to Wood. A quick kick, though, now goes forward, but it's all Traralgon back there. And Collison, the general, he's been a good inclusion for the Maroons. Switches play. Jackson Hall has a little bit of space in front of Scott Van Dyke. Has to go down and get it. Now Van Dyke closes. Handball over the top to North. He's really come alive since I gave him a bit of a rev up. Kick towards Hector. No mark, but a free kick to Hayden Hector. And nearly a 50-metre penalty. Hector can go to Broadbent, who delivered it centre forward. In the end, Yuri presented as well. Biffin handballs out the back to a teammate in Van Dyke. Back to Biffin, who runs, as he always does. Drives it to half forward. Elevation from Farmer. Couldn't take one-handed grab. DiVigilio with pace. Tried to run away from Cameron. Just got his handball away. Back there is Little. Does well. Goes to Collison. Quick kick was smothered. Big spoil by Pearce, but Vacenovic read it for the Maroons, and they deliver in board to Bird.
Blazer! Picked it off with a screaming one-handed mark. Goes inside 50.
Yes.
Equal to the task was in defensive 50 there for the Maroons. Taps it in the path of Marsh. Has pressure. Keeps his feet really well. Now he goes long down the line. One-on-one contest. Worked off the ball there by Grech was Burge. Grech plays on quickly. Goes down the line. Great sliding mark. Not paid, says the umpire.
Good contest.
Spills out to Ainsworth. Ainsworth inboard to Coxedge. Now he's going to go inside 50. Bit of work to do down there by Fleming. Great work there by Cameron.
Gee whiz, what a game.
This is a game and a half. He releases to Collison, and now we can take a bit of a breather as he finds Vacenovic. Goes inside the corridor.
Yes, just.
Jackson Hall marks. And 50 metres. That one was 50.
Bit hard to stop.
Yeah. Hey, it was 50. I mean, the umpire did pay it as 50.
Yes, true.
Not too dissimilar to the Grech one earlier on Yuri.
Yep.
And nonetheless, 50 metres paid. Jackson Hall goes to just inside the centre square, waiting for something to unfold. Very patient with the build-up. Goes on the 45 to the half-forward flank. Stockdale's his target. Works to the front. Gets to Cody Wilson. Pressure from Braganolo. Sees the ball over for a boundary throw-in. Right on the Moe dugout. We are 25 minutes in. Nearly half-time here. 5-point margin in favour of the Maroons.
Ball will come back into play right in front of the Moe coach's box there. Sim and Gallier barking instructions to their team. Over the top, Broadbent with the hands to Connor Ambler. The underground one didn't quite work to Hildebrand. They gain a few metres to the Maroons. We've got another boundary throw in. And it is a great game of football. There's some great contested marks going on. Bailey Cameron's been good. The two coaches have been unbelievable. Collison and Blazer have led from the front. And the young brigade working hard. A free kick from this boundary throw-in from the ruck duties will go in the way of, I think it's going Moe. And it's off the contest. Grady Coxedge will be the one.
Broadbent thought it was against him, which I thought he might have been the one that got the free kick, but it's going against, looked to be Hayden Hector. Coxedge, handballs back to Biffin, takes on his opponent.
Oh, holding the ball. Great work, they're away.
Play on through Stockdale. 1-on-1 inside 50. Tommy Long back there for the lines. Getting back to help was Renitz. Just let it go. Again, the pressure really good inside 50. Loudon ducks out of it. Snaps it around the corner. Just goes across the face of goal. Through for a minor score.
7-3-45 the Traralgon score. One straight goal ahead of Moe, who at 6-3-39. Greenham Gippsland scoreboard 26.5 minutes into the second quarter.
Well, good game of football as Tommy Long, that Loudon kid, can play. As Jordan Sandy in the crowd here, of course, not playing. He's got a punting career in the NFL that he'll go across later on in the year. So good luck to him as he'll be willing his teammates on, of course. And we've got another boundary throw in. A little bit of scuffle at the 27-minute mark. Not too long to go in this second quarter, you'd think.
Still got the Sharon in his hands, Geordie Sandy.
He has.
Might add the other one.
The NFL ball.
More pointier NFL ball.
Yep.
Boundary throw in, right on the 50. Worked off the ball. Broadbent does well. Smothered kick on Stockdale. Can it spill out to Wood? He does. Gets it out of the pack. Under pressure, though. Doesn't really make too much of an attempt, but the umpire said he was tackled straight away. No prior opportunity. Ball up 60 metres from goal in favour of the Maroons. We are nearly at half time. This time Farrell gets a fist on it, knocking it forward. Hector under pressure from Wilson. All the Moe staff appealing for holding the ball. Free kick.
Getting a little bit willing.
It is.
A little bit willing.
As you'd expect in finals, in rivalry games.
And Hector and Wood.
And the fact that this game is intense. Farrell, both ruckmen leave it behind. Van Dijk tackled. Can't get a clean boot on it. Putting his head over it there. Was David. You can see it. You can see which way this is going to go. The tackle was intense, but we have another ball up.
Up goes Farrell and Broadbent. Kick off the ground from Stockdale. In hard was Coxedge. Out the back there is Blazer. Nice handball back to his teammate in Van Dijk to Farrell. Back to Van Dijk. They've got a little bit of space now. It's through Biffin. We know he likes to run. He took a one tackler. The siren sounds. He's got pushed down after it. And Biffin will get up and look at Broadbent. Fleming goes to him now. Broadbent walks away. Moe don't like the little push after the siren from Broadbent. He walks away. The both sides come together now. Or I suppose come apart, and Morrow is the one that separates them. What a game of football. What a half we had. It went 28 minutes. Both the huddles are still fairly tight. The umpires walk between them. It's half time, and Traralgon have wrestled back the lead at 7-3-45, and they did so with 3 in a row goals in that last part of the second quarter, from the 15-minute mark to the 20-minute mark. 3 goals in a row. And Traralgon lead at 7-3-45. Moe a 6-3-39. This is Gippsland Live on TRFM. And we do it for Harvey Norman Electrical. Recycling rewards are on now. They can receive Harvey Norman gift cards when you purchase selected home entertainment products and recycle your old ones. Conditions do apply in store.
The Rebel Club Sandown 500 is the 14th to the 16th of September, and Optus and TRFM wants you to take your mates to the V8s. We've got the ultimate package for
forward line of Traralgon. Yuri starts forward again.
Traralgon's got a 5-man forward line. Moe have rolled that person around and gone with a 7-man forward line.
Well, Morrow and Broadbent. Morrow won it down in the middle there. Ambler, great little attack on the football from Musto. And he ends up winning the football. It was Hector was the one who threw it. Play on, said the umpire. Biffin turns around, kicks a barrel towards half forward. Running out there was Murphy, and over it goes for a boundary throw in.
So with Rick saying that Moe need to get something up forward, do you think a 7-man forward line will play into their hands in that category?
I do believe so. That certainly will stop. There'll be more players down there. It should stop Traralgon running it out a little bit easier. So it might sort of play into their hands a little bit there, but they've still got to work hard. Collison from the back of that stoppage. Handball in the space there of Ambler, who was able to get it and run through some traffic nicely. Then gave it to Collison, back to Ambler. Beautiful done by the Maroons. They allow North to get it, and they can get it to the fat side where they got space and numbers. Hall has it, can run and carry. He has a handball over the top now to Marsh, who can go further afield. Great transition football by the Maroons. Yuri delivers inside forward 50, missed the target of Lopez. He has to go again, does the big fella. Yuri butted up, tried to make amends for that one. Out there is McKay, close to the boundary line. Marsh has got some wheels, turns around again, drives it inside forward 50. Hector marks on his chest and goes back. And directly in front, 30 metres out, we'll have this shot on goal. But that transition football started from the coach and Connor Ambler.
And that's what that was going to be the danger I was going to mention to you, Daryl, as much as numbers would favour across the half-forward line there for Moe, a quick transition can really open up the space, which will play in the hands of Traralgon, who like to get out to their runners, which they did, and the end result being Hayden Hector lining up for goal.
Slide angle, not too far, 25 metres out, loves it. Straight through the middle with inside 2 minutes. Hayden Hector has the first to extend the margin.
I think what you'll find, boys, I watched Hayden Hector. He was starting at the back of the square and he streamed through, so I don't think they're going to actually play a five-man forward line in general play, and he's the one who ended up streaming forward to kick the goal. He's going to the back of the square again right now, boys, so just keep an eye on that. He will start at the back and stream through, and they'll be looking to give that handball backwards out of the stoppage.
As Daryl said, just on the 2 minute mark, first goal of the second half, 8-3-51 Traralgon on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard. Moe 6-3-39.
Big roll for Grady Coxedge, who mans him up, and he goes again, does Hector off that stoppage. This time Morrow knocked it down, kick over the shoulder out of fresh air. No one missed it except for Wilson was the one to pick it up. He handballed out wide, and Marsh has been busy on that wing. These metres gained is super important. Great work by Charlie Rennett to go back with the flight and take the mark.
Again, looks lateral. This time Traralgon stopped that outlet. Goes wide. Oh, thought it was going to go an in-between sort of pass. Finds McKay. McKay goes inboard to the coach. Great spoil on by Wilson. Spills out there to North. Goes back to Wilson. Wilson comes inside the corridor. That's a nice kick. Finds McMahon right on the point of the left half forward flank. Now looking forward. Waiting for something to open up. Very patient. It's going to go wide in favour of Hector. Hector and Van Dyke. Van Dyke gets a spoil on from the back. Jaden crumbs it at the front. Feeds back to Tom Long. He goes back to defensive goal square to Grec. 1-2 with Tommy Long. Tommy Long now releases to the outer side. Flying in from the side there was Broadbent. Gets a good fist on it. Bounces inside the boundary line. Marsh tracks it. Misses a target in North. North gathers. Feeds over the top with Wilson into Broadbent. Broadbent can go inside 50. Measures a pass. Reading it off the kick, though, was Bragagnolo. Can switch the play now for the Lions.
The back six have been very good, and Bragagnolo's one of those. Gave it to Wood by foot. He's in the back pocket, comes out towards the wing. It's a bit of an up and under on top of their head kick, and it allowed Traralgon in the way to numbers 2-on-1.
I watched Hector work rate from the centre of the ground there, just willed himself to try and stop that release out to the near side.
Hector chipped it over the top to Lee Stockdale, and they look to be a little bit patient. Lee Stockdale gives the instructions
to...
The
Flappy Bird, mate.
The Flappy Bird slowing it down. Instruction, that is. As Lee Stockdale just chips it in towards the pocket. Lopez will be the target, and marks. And great work. When it's 1-on-1, that could nearly be 50 as Bragagnolo put down McMahon. The umpire missed it because he was looking at his other umpire saying, I've got the mark. And Bragagnolo was lucky there. Dylan Lopez took the uncontested mark. I can tell you that in a thriller down at Traff in the under-14s prelim final, Moore just got a goal. They're up by 3 points, that is. Back here, Dylan Lopez will come in on a very tight angle from about 40 metres out and keeps it skinny. It goes from left to right and make that from right to left for a minor score, Paul.
And that equals the match high that Moe had in the third quarter. It's a 13-point lead at the 5 minute mark of the third quarter. 8-4-52 to Moe 6-3-39. McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard.
Tommy Long with a big kick inside from the behinds. Nice strong mark over the back by Bragagnolo. He's got the Flappy Bird out as well.
Both sides slowing it down.
Calling for calm. He's going to have to go long down the line. Setting himself there. Going back with the flight is Farrell. Cameron almost clunked a clean one. Ainsworth socks it off the ground. No in danger.
Oh, good.
Blazer puts his head over it. No free kick. Spills out to Di Virgilio. Great smother. Sliding in there was Connor Little. Now they release through that man in Marsh. Chips one over the top to Broadbent. Broadbent wheels around. Plays on. Goes inside 50 over the back. Lopez sets himself.
Good spoil.
Tommy Long gets a nice fist on it and sees it out for a boundary throw in 2 metres around from the left behind post.
Just the youngster in Broadbent needed to lower the eyes on that occasion and would have hit forward. Up. I think he had 2 in there. Hildebrand was one of those. Nathan Scurra quickly at ground level.
Yeah, I thought I had some injury update news for you boys with Tyson Biffin, but it looks like he's coming on. He was feeling his left calf.
Very good. Great work down there. From the stoppage around the body was Braganolo out towards Prestige area. Top of the defensive 50 for Moe. A big moment in the game right now thanks to Monticello's. Johnny Walker Red, 700 mils, $36 or 2 for 70. I know what I'd be taking.
Ball up right on the 50 metres. Putting his head over the ball there for Traralgon. Looked to be maybe Marsh or Connor Ambler. He is one to be on the bottom of a pack. We'll have another ball up right in the same spot. Morrow wins it down. Di Virgilio can't find the handle. And again the pack forms. And a third ball up from the very same spot. As players just trying to work the ball out. Free kick going the way of Moe, going to Ben Morrow. Blazer around the back looking for a handball to release.
They need to switch it. They've got blood rule when they were about to switch and had 2 free numbers. And it'll be the big one in Morrow.
So look to Farrell to come up and take the ruck as they get a replacement on.
As we'll take a little bit of time. Obviously in a danger time down there in Traff at the moment with the under-14s prelim final.
I just looked
at a minute to go. We saw oh no.
Oh no was the words. But then good job. So
yes, exactly right. The kick goes down the line from Darnell Grech and we've got a boundary throw. We've got a stoppage on the far side. As a margin here, it is 8 minutes gone in the third quarter. It's a 13-point margin in favour of the Maroons. The Lions need to get that run back, that run and dare that started from James Blazer. He can't be the only one, though. There's a ball back in. Farrell was the one that tapped it his way. Coming off the line, though, was Vecenovich. Ambler was out there with Wilson. Took on the tackler, did Wilson. He got his handball away beautifully. Ambler's been busy. Turns around. Kick was partially smothered. Farrell's been great. Over the top release to Ainsworth. He comes back inboard. Here's that man Blazer. Sweeps the handball on forward. They run. Is it Murphy? Picks it up. Gets to the top of the 50. Handball's over the top now to Wood. Can he have a shot on goal? He gets around one tackler. Back onto the favoured right foot. Shot on goal, Jacob Wood. It's going. Minus score. That would have been a cracker as Jacob Wood started to get things going, and that's a minor score. Paul Carter
takes Moe to 6-4-40 on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard, trailing Traralgon, who are 8-4-52, 9 minutes, third quarter.
Get a bit excited up here, Darryl Corley.
Well, the boys in the grandstand aren't too excited about that one. They're in favour of Traralgon.
Yeah.
But that would have been a great goal for Jacob Wood. As we just hold things up now. As Collison is the one who will bring it back into play. Kicks it out wide and misses everyone and goes out of bounds on the full. Well, they get another chance, Troy.
Moe going to reload through Peter Ainsworth. It's been all Traralgon really in the first 10 minutes of this third term. Let's see what response Moe can have as Ainsworth finds Blazer. Blazer goes with a high up and under. Pack forms. Good luck getting your hands on that. Falls to ground. This is where the Crummers need to be at their best. And it's a Traralgon Crummers through Collison. Releases through Yuri. Slides in. Takes it off just the top of the grass. Gets his fingernails underneath it. Goes back to Collison. Collison back to Yuri. Yuri can now go forward. Stockdale looked for the man.
Oh.
That man was Braganolo. And I think Stockdale knew that he was done for. And
just tried to ruffle up the curls on top of his head.
Braganolo with a big switch. It's going to come off. It's going to go to Grech. Marks at centre half back. I don't mind it.
It was a bit high, though, wasn't it? It took a long time to get there.
Grech with a nice
boot on.
Van Dyke flies over the top of North. Ducks inside to opponents. Tackled. Holding the ball. Great pressure there from the Roans. Tim North. North goes on the 45 to Ambler. Unopposed. Marks on centre wing. Looking inside the corridor. Looking back outside. As again, Moe players now track back. Do we have a score result there, Darryl?
Got a final score for you. I'll get to it in a moment, Troy.
Going inside 50 there for Traralgon. Comes to McMahon. McMahon takes on Reynolds. Beats him. Gets to the top of the 50. Looks inside with a disciplined kick.
Great kick. How good is McMahon? I think he's one of the key players. When he went out of this Traralgon side with that, I think it was a broken leg or ankle thereabouts, they really lost that run and drive, and with him coming back in, has really given a bit more bite around the pack. Chris Urey will come in pretty much directly in front from about 45 metres. They lead it by 12 points at the moment. Urey, it's on its way, and he keeps it skinny, a minor score. Both sides are peppering.
8:5:53 Traralgon to Murray 6:4:40. McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard 11.5 minute mark, third quarter.
Come on, Daryl, I'm nervous.
Around the grounds, thanks to Harvey Norman Furniture in the under-14s of the Central Gippsland Junior Footy League. Morwell 2-3-15 have got up over Newborough 1-6-12 in an absolute thriller.
So that makes both prelims. My young bloke went down, unfortunately, by 2 points. Yep. Your young bloke got up by 3 points.
By 3 points, yes.
Fantastic. As Greg looks to release through the half-back flank, looking forward. That's a strong grab through Reese. That's what you want to see. Gets called to play on. Wheels around. Goes inside 50. Ainsworth tracking back.
Well done.
Goes over the top. Working back there is Fleming. Leaves it behind. Ainsworth puts his head over it. Can't find the handle as he's reaching for it. And great work by Little. He's tackled. Umpire deemed that not going anywhere. We'll have a ball up 40 metres out from Moe's goal. Really like that work from Lachlan Reese hitting up.
Collison from the stoppage, out the back, nicely done in traffic. Found Jackson McMahon, half-back flank, top of his defensive 50. Chips over the top to Lee Stockdale, who dangerously comes in board, but beautifully done. Executed to 100%, and they got the run over the top. White gave it across to Musto. Does it bounce for him? It does. Comes back onto the right foot. Drives it inside forward 50. Over the back, Urey. Lopez in the front. Good spoil by the defenders. Urey has it. Handballs to McMahon. Kicks around the body. Goal of the day contender, Jackson McMahon. The Maroons extend it again.
So Jackson McMahon was the one who received the ball on his back 50 from Collison out of the stoppage. Next thing, he's run the full length of the ground, and it was a quick play too, wasn't it, boys? It wasn't like it went in slow, and he's the one who's got the ball 20 metres out on a slight angle in their forward 50. He actually said to me, he was on the bench before, boys, about the 9 minute mark. He goes, geez, these boys won't come off. He sat on the bench for that long, and the ball was on the other side. He was spewing, he couldn't get on.
McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard. Traralgon now lead by 19 points at the 13 minute mark of the third quarter. 9-5-59 to 6-4-40.
And Hildebrand ran in a fraction early, and it will go a free kick to Moe in the middle of the ground.
This is where they need to make the most of this opportunity as Morrow goes back to Blazer, goes long inside 50. Ainsworth floating in over the back of the pack, marks unopposed on his chest. And this will be a much-needed goal. As Paul mentioned, Moe needed to put the foot down in this third term. It's been quite the opposite, as Traralgon have been fantastic in this third quarter. Moe needs this just to get a bit of pressure off that scoreboard and get Moe going forward. Puts a ball on the boot, fades it out to the right and fades at the last minute, goes through for a behind.
18 points the difference. Traralgon 9-5-59. Moe 6-5-41. The McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard.
Pacinovic plays onto himself, gains himself 10 metres, and then a low drop punt, spearing one, missed Lopez, and it goes out of bounds. However, it is 80 metres around now from Moe's goal, so not a bad sort of result.
If you kick to yourself and it goes out,
it's a play-on situation, so it's not a free kick.
Welcome to the game of AFL, Nathan Scarra.
That sucks.
He's fixed everything else, hasn't he? But he just forgot one of the more common rules.
Now, Gil might want to talk to me now.
Let's be honest, you are a forward, Nathan, and would have had no idea about kicking out a fullback.
He'd just run out, wouldn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
I've seen someone handball out of there once.
Morrow tapped it down from that stoppage. Hector was out there with Blazer. We'll have another boundary throw in, as we'll try and get some netball scores for our avid netball fans out there if we can, with around the courts this afternoon. As earlier on it was Morwell winning in the under-16s and Sale winning in the under-18s, and Leongatha winning in the reserves grade, as Cody Wilson from the stoppage was busy. Nice little kick found Hildebrand. He kicks towards the wing area. Lopez is a target. And then picking that off there looked to be, was it Loudon? He got it towards half forward. Urey led his opponent. Now he sweeps a handball out. The running back defender, Jackson Hall, has a flying shot at goal. And as a backman pushes it. It's a minor score on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard. Australia's most popular barista-made coffee, only at McCafe.
Traralgon are now 9-6-60 to Moe, 6-5-41. Almost 16 minutes played, third quarter.
Well, that would have just about brought the house down if Jackson Hall had got on the goal scorer sheet. The kick in was a nice one. Found Biffin. Out to Darnell Grech, who can turn and run. He's got plenty of space in front of him. Kicks it high, though, over the top. The target will be Fleming. Collison will close. Wood was out there as well. Just kicks it forward to himself. Fleming might have the pace here to kick it again. Off the ground it goes. Inside 50. Cameron holds it back. Fleming followed up nicely. Handballs over the top to Ainsworth. Runs in to McKay. Gave it back to the running. And he got crunched as he had a kick. Great work by the defender back there in Little. He put Virgilio down as he had a shot on goal. And that was goal-saving stuff from Connor Little for Traralgon.
And the smother too, boys. He got his fingertips to that just to stop the ball going through.
Great play.
Excellent effort.
Murray 6'6", 42. Traralgon 9'6", 60.
Virgilio still down on all fours as the kick-in went to Cody Wilson. Only 25 metres away from his goal. Defensive, that is. Kicked it to Jackson Hall. Can square it out to the wing. It's a bit of a high kick towards the grandstand side. White sits underneath it. Well done. And just protect himself from Morrow. Plays on. Morrow closes. Tries to put a tackle on. Got one into the solar plexus there. And Wilson turns around. Beautiful kick. Musto dropped the mark. Got tackled quickly. Blazer comes in to help. Then puts a strong tackle on. He gets out of it, does Loudon. Gave it to Ambler. Now to Musto, who followed up. Runs to 40. Wobbly kick across the face. Goes across for a boundary throw-in. No one can get a clear shot on goal. The pressure is immense.
Been fantastic to watch. Been red hot all day. Traralgon just getting their noses in front. Just holding Moe at arm's length at the moment. Have control of this game. Boundary throw in deep inside forward 54. Traralgon goes over the back to Musto. Tries to find Loudon in a handball. Loudon puts a strong tackle on Braganolo. He clears though through Biffin. Biffin just hacks the ball out of the area. Traralgon got the numbers. Get a nasty bounce. Farrell can sock it off the ground if he wants. Elects to go down and gather. Goes back to Biffin. Tries to shrug a tackle. Umpire says play on as Biffin dragged it back in. Farrell goes again. This time the umpire comes in and balls the ball up.
Biffin was fairly lucky there, I thought. Got spun around in a tackle 360 and then went to ground and didn't really make an attempt to get it out. Stoppage. Morrow knocked it down. Cameron works hard. Tried to kick off the ground was Lee Stockdale. Big punch goes Moe's direction. Quick kick off the ground from Virgilio. He does it twice. And now he's got some space because Ainsworth has got a little bit of time. Picks it up. He has to come back inboard. Yench was closing. Right foot kick is neat. No one can mark it inside 50. Fleming tried to crash through. Handballs across. Reese is there. Just fumbled at the crucial stage. Then Hall went in to win it. Ainsworth tried to crash through as well again. Fleming. Comes back out to Fleming. Left foot barrel kick goes straight up and down. Collison marks on the last line of defence.
Geez, I like Fleming's intensity in the forward line. I'd keep him down there. He's been lively.
Well, the coach has asked for forward 50 pressure, Troy, and it's come in tenfold through Fleming.
Just not getting the results on the scoreboard, unfortunately, are the Maroons. Traralgon being solid in defence. That's a nice kick inside the corridor. Finds Wilson Gordian. Plays on inside Wood. His chip forward finds Ambler. They link up really well through the middle. Ambler goes on to McMahon. McMahon held up. Handballs over the top. Finds Stockdale. Stockdale ducks inside his opponent. Now goes on the right boot. A high entry inside 50. Braganolo held off the ball there. Wins himself free kick. Advantage paid. This is where Moe's got to move quick. McKay running through the wing. Musto puts the pressure on. McKay looking to get over the top of Jackson Hall. Does so. And then soccering it off the ground was Lachlan Reese out for a boundary throw-in. 70 metres around from Moe's goal. They need to respond very, very quickly as they don't want to see this lead get any further than what it is at the moment, which is 18 points coming up on 20 minutes.
Paul Carter, key stats or key possessions inside 50s, whichever one we have at the moment. I'll come back to you in a moment. Kick goes around the body. We've got a boundary throw in again.
Okay, Mark Collison's had another 6 this quarter, taking to 22. He's equal with James Blazer, also on 22 disposals. Blazer's had 3 this quarter.
Darnell Grech has been busy this quarter.
He's had 6 this quarter. Cody Wilson has had 8.
Both those players, the Gippsland Mercedes. Don't forget the new X-Class Mercedes down there at Gippsland Mercedes. As Ambler had a fresh area of the handball, and actually he had possession of the footy. He ended up dropped it, holding the footy. McKay chips towards the wing. Morrow will mark in front of McMahon. He's got a few numbers back, but so do Traralgon. Morrow thumps one into it, gets to the point of the square. Farrell's back there as well. Reading that beautifully back there was Yench, who played on quickly to Collison, got it on further to Wilson by hand, who has a bounce and runs to the top of the 50, runs a good measure, then gets a kick towards the wing. Attacking it was Rennet, beautifully done. Back there though, Rennet crashed through again. Ambler handballed out the back to Wilson. Left foot kick this time will find a target. Nicely done. Finds Nick Loudon. Quickly plays on. Handball over the top now to Yuri from 48. Has a shot at goal. Running back is McMahon. It bounces away from him and goes through for a minor score. It's been all Traralgon on the scoreboard in this third quarter. Paul.
At 9-7-61, leading by 19 points over Moe, 6-6-42. McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard, 21.5 minutes.
Quick play on the back line through Biffin. Oh, dropping the ball there was Murphy. Goes back to Biffin. Biffin again, chisels a pass inside the corridor. Di Virgilio up and about, releases. That's a great kick in the path of Prestige. If it sits for him, he can run to 50. It does now. He gets to 50, Prestige. Chips one into the pocket. That's a great kick and finds Scott Van Dyke on a nice lead into the pocket. And he'll mark. That's a tough shot, tough angle.
How good was that kick from Prestige at pace?
It was fantastic. I really liked the kick, though, from Di Virgilio to put it out in his path. As Van Dyke goes with the traditional check side, kicks the wrong side of the ball, and it goes out of bounds on the full 20 metres left of the goals.
And he was 15 metres away from the point post.
Right.
On the other side.
On the other side. As Jackson Hall's going to bring the ball back in for the Maroons. His kick's going to go out on the full.
Dear.
That's a shocker. Comes off the right side of the boot. And another chance for Moe to reload, this time through Jaden Van Dyke. No, umpire says Luke McKay was nearest.
Well, it'd be good to switch this around.
Goes shallow, looking for Farrell. Works to the front and does strong mark over the back of Hector. As he just worked his opponent off the ball. Really nicely did Farrell. Got some clean air. Launched into it and took a really strong mark right in front of the social club here.
Those last 5 scores have been behinds, guys. They were 6-1 at one stage.
Yep, absolutely. Nathan Scarra down at ground level. This is a tough shot from there.
Yeah, it is a tough shot if he just aims for the left post here, boys.
Well, he puts it on its way. It is at the left post. Does it come back, Nathan?
No,
have a bum steer there, I reckon.
It's got to have it swing the right way there, Daryl.
Sorry.
Didn't get quite the connection you did.
Sorry.
Moe 6-7-43, trailing by 3 straight goals. Traralgon 9-7-61.
Just that kick from Biffin off half-back before, boys. That's what they need to do, isn't it? Just get some more run coming out of that back half instead of just blazing away like they have the majority of the game.
Yeah, like the lowering of the eyes and then the release out wide really opened up the outer side of the ground as a transition of kicks from Traralgon going from left to right, still deep in their right back pocket with Lee Stockdale. Now he's called to go long down the line. Farrell got his hands on this. Working him from the side is Loudon. Wood tries to knock it forward over his head. Loudon butters up again. Goes over the shoulder. Great mark.
White.
And a bit of
Darryl White marks strongly in front of Jaden Van Dyke.
That's not councillor Darryl White. That'd be Darren Troy.
Could be ex-Brisbane defender Darryl White.
the mayor
What do you say,
City.
Scuzz? Don't correct yourself.
Don't correct yourself. Someone will do it for you, mate.
Jeez, you've been red hot on me today, boys, as Rennet takes a strong defensive mark. Goes forward to Farrell. Cameron puts the pressure on.
There he is.
Darren White. Feedback handball to Hall. Hall to Collison. Collison's kick forward's going to get picked off. No, it doesn't. Blazer leaves it behind. But working the ball there nicely was Cox Edge. He goes inside 50. Van Dyke works to the front. Over the back it goes. Ground level. Handballs off to the running Ainsworth. Into an open goal. Moe get a much needed one. Reduce the margin back to 11 points.
I reckon he's been their most dangerous forward, boys. I've just bloody had a memory.
Ainsworth or Van Dyke?
No, Ainsworth. Every time he seems as though he's going to be involved in some situation, and that's another example there. Just gets to the right spots, does good things when he's got the ball.
And on the McDonald's Gippsland scored, it's a 12-point lead to Traralgon, almost at three-quarter time. We've played 25 minutes. They're 9-7-61. Moe now 7-7-49.
And before you boys correct me, I did say 11 points, all right? It's 12.
Didn't notice it, Troy. Big moment of the game. Thanks to Monticello's. Morrow tapped it forward. Great work by Lee Stockdale. Gave it to Hector, who ran from the half-back line. Kicks it towards now his top of the 50. North leads the chase, and Darnell Greck's out there as well.
Yeah, just gave him a big shove in the back there.
Free kick to Tim North. He's too far out to score. He's about 65 out. Hildebrand presents. Goes towards the pocket. In the front spot is Lopez. He had 2 to beat. Big spoil over the back. Hildebrand was at the front and square. Jabal's just dribbled over the boundary line.
Quick one for you, boys. And Scuzz, you mentioned at the start of this third term, Hector has come off the back of the line each time in the centre bounces, and not once has a Moe player tried to either track his run or block him from running in there, or beat him in there at the start.
Yeah, the first one I noticed someone did make it. I reckon they blocked for him really well off the back. Yep.
We'll keep an eye on that one from this stoppage. Loudon did well to start Lee Stockdale. Nice little work there by Wilson. Gave it to Grech, who can get it out wide into the run of Van Dyke, who can mark on the wing. He tries to get it on quickly. Goes inboard beautifully done to Farmer. Farmer handballs to the run of Wood. Wood at the square. Goes wide towards Farrell. Can mark at 45 and had a flying helicopter shot on goal. It's gone through. At the 26-minute mark, they've got two within a couple of minutes, and Moe are back in the game.
We talk about it occasionally, like when we can, boys, but that's just changing lanes, isn't it? They've come to this side of the ground, Van Dyke. It's off half-back. As soon as they can get some speed off half-back, that's when they look dangerous, when they go that slow play and allow Traralgon to get numbers back behind is when they don't look like they're going to score. But that was brilliant play to Van Dyke out in front, switch of play over the other side, and a good finish.
A 6-point lead to Traralgon right on three-quarter time at the 27-minute mark of the third quarter. McDonald's Gippsland scored. Traralgon 9-7-61, Moe 8-7-55.
Rolling players around everywhere. Traralgon's got a spare one on the wing. Ambler does well with a no-look handball to Musto. Run down from behind. Great work by Josh Wilson. Advantage paid. Cox edge. Inside forward 50. Farrell goes up. No one can mark. Back there is Collison. Great work to Yench. Handballs over the top looking for space and the boundary line. Yench does well. So does Van Dyke. Handball to Farmer. Goes back to Blazer. Flying shot on goal again. Goes across the face. Wow. 3 shots on goal in the last 3 minutes of play. Closing it on three-quarter time. That would have been an interesting one.
8.56 Moe now within a goal of Traralgon, who are 9-7-61 on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard.
They certainly have ramped the pressure up, have the Lions. Something has finally clicked for them, and it's been based around that pressure on the ball carrier. Traralgon bring the ball back in from the behinds, ends up with Ambler still inside defensive 50, chisels one forward to Cody Wilson. Still he's inside defensive 50, goes on the 45 out wide, looks to have found out there, looks to be White, and the siren goes here. Three-quarter time, 28 minutes just ticked over. Moe, a late third quarter fight back, sees them back in the hunt. It is Moe 8-8-56, Traralgon 9-7-61. Do not go anywhere on your dials, as we've got a cracking final term coming up between these two powerhouses in Moe and Traralgon. We're going to go to a break and bring it all to you, all thanks to Harvey Norman Electrical Recycling Rewards. Receive Harvey Norman gift cards when you purchase selected home entertainment products and recycle your old ones. Conditions apply. Back after the break.
The Rebel Club Sandown 500 is the 14th to the 16th of September. And Optus and TRFM...
Back now, boys.
Well, absolutely. Very well said. So at the moment as it stands, there's a 7-man forward line or 7-man back line as you look at it for Moe and Moe's forward line, that is. And they're not playing a far wing. So the wingers have rolled down, whether that's the Traralgon defensive wing playing that way, or it could just be Hector running off that back line, and that's where they have to watch him. So the final quarter starts, and it goes straight to that man, Hector. He was under pressure, though, from Cox Edge. Good work by the Moe's defender. Good work from Biffin. Now Wood was the handball out. Broadbent tried to squeeze one back to a teammate. They're under pressure. They win a free kick. The Maroons through Connor Little. And they're trying to take the advantage. I think the advantage was paid. I don't know how. Anyway, it ends up out wide to Connor Ambler in the end. Chips it over the top to Little. He's been good for Gippsland Mercedes this afternoon. Gets it out to a teammate out wide in Gordian. Goes down the line. No one can mark it as Darnell Grech spoil and put it over for a boundary throw-in. Paul Carter, anything major from that third quarter?
11 disposals to Cody Wilson, taking his total to 21. 8 to Connor Ambler during that quarter. 9 to Mark Collison. He's had 25 disposals.
Boundary throw-in, half-back flank for the Lions as it falls to Biffin. Wheels around. Gets a hurried kick forward. Contest on the outer wing. That's a strong mark in front. Looks to be going Fleming. Di Virgilio comes inboard. Looking for Ainsworth. Dangerous. Hector at the front. Spills to the ground. Ambler putting his head over the wall, so is Wilson. Ainsworth tries to duck under a tackle. Hector goes and gathers. Back to Ambler to McMahon, back to Ambler. And
free kick.
McMahon dealt with after he got rid of it. Advantage paid. Going to go the way of Little. Little runs down towards the wing, looking half forward. Lopez in front of Tommy Long, bounces over his head. Long ducks under it, gives up the ball though to Lopez. He's able to gather. Handball, inside 50. Working to the front is Greg. At ground level is Yuri. Soccers the ball.
Oh, great.
Off his boot.
Oh, hit
The post. That would have been our goal of the day to rival Jackson McMahon's earlier.
Yuri thought that one was through. He started celebrating and then realised it did just brush the upright.
And it's a one straight kick to Traralgon, 9.862 to Moe 8.856. Turnbull's Gippsland scoreboard.
A short kick went into Van Dyke, who can go back into the goal square where Darnell Grech is. Marks has to push back, and we're back where we started from. Now he goes a little bit further out towards Hayden Prestige. And Prestige marks, comes in board, nice little kick. Grady Coxedge marks, goes again, squares it out wide towards the boundary. Van Dyke marks, 60 metres away from his defensive goal is Jaden Van Dyke, slowing things up, waiting for the big ruckman to get there in Farrell. Goes in that direction and strong, no mark. Prestige roved it beautifully. They got 2 on 1. At Di Virgilio and the defender in Vicenovic, and Vicenovic does very, very well. Wins the football in the end. Hector comes in to help eventually, and they get it to Hall, and they got away with one there, the Maroons. They were lucky.
It's going to come back, though. Blazer through half forward. Has a player inside the corridor. It's Biffin. Biffin can take on the man on the mark. He does. Ducks inside a second. Gets to 40. Puts the ball on the boot. The Lions are all square.
Tyson Biffin, run and attack and flare from half-back.
How was the awareness from Blazer too, boys? He could have easily blazed away and kicked it into that forward 50 somewhere. Just out the corner of his eye, seeing Biffin out. Centre of the ground, 50 out, runs in, gets onto his right foot, slots it. That's a brilliant goal.
Scores all level at 9.862 apiece at the 3-minute mark of the last quarter. Turnbull's Gippsland scoreboard.
We've got the close one, boys.
True.
Yeah, absolutely. From yesterday's massive win for Leongatha, who now go into the second semi-final. This game is an absolute thriller. A free kick again off the centre square, and it was ambitious. It's going against, we don't know, against Moe.
Right.
Yes, they did. It went to Traralgon. Handball from Broadbent goes back to Ambler. Kicks inside forward 50. Lopez can't mark. Big spoil from behind. McMahon does well. So does Wood. Crashing his way through. Looks to be Musto out there. Very well done. Outside in traffic. Now delivers inside 50. Goes over their heads. Will it sit for Yuri? He grabs it. Left foot snap, dribbles.
Yes.
It's got it through. A great response. Chris Yuri nearly got one few moments ago. Now he gets another. It's his second for the day.
How unbelievable was that, boys? I was right behind it. Looked like it wasn't going to go through, and then it just trickled through. Just a little check side kick or banana kick around the corner there, and it dribbled through just in time.
And on the Turnbull's Gippsland scoreboard, we'll see Traralgon back in that 6-point lead. They are 10.868, Moe 9.862. We've played almost 5 minutes of the last quarter.
That last free kick off the centre square was trying to stop that run off the back of the line. I think it was a push from a Moe player. McMahon now is at 1 free. If it goes in that direction, it does. It links up now. Great work by Wood just to spoil the party. Morrow handballs back to Wood. A Traralgon player down behind play.
Ambler
goes forward. Ainsworth puts a pressure on. Comes from nowhere to take the mark. Marks at centre half forward. Wheels around inside 50. Farrell works to the front. Falls over the back. Farmer back there. But Jackson Hall butters up. Releases through North.
Ambler's up.
North plays on outside left, half-back flank, has a player in Burge, long down the line. Van Dyke keeps his feet. Blazer to Renitz. Renitz goes forward, a scrappy kick, and Jackson Hall, reads it well off the boot and marks left half-back flank.
On the defensive 50 is Jackson Hall, slowing things up. He's got numbers inboard, goes there. And it's Lee Stockdale, goes in the middle again to Wilson. Nice strong mark. Oh, Marsh was tearing past. Didn't handball. Now Wilson. Takes on Wood, gets around him with a right foot kick, goes inside 50. Yuri couldn't quite mark it. Great work by Darnell Grech. Then gave it to Braganolo. Gets it out wide now. Nicely to Wilson.
Though, nothing forward.
All the numbers back. Good call, Troy. Wilson has to wait. Chip it over the top now to Scott Van Dyke. Got around Yench. Steps around him. Right foot kick goes high. Farrell, Fleming's down there. Over the back was Cameron. Couldn't quite mark it. Collison goes to ground. And a pack forms.
That's a win there for Moe as they're outnumbered. And Traralgon have been very good at transitioning from defence to attack. They lock the ball in A ball up right in front of goal.
25 metres out over the back. Ainsworth snaps around the body. It goes through. Ainsworth has been lively. Nathan Scurra called it a couple of moments ago. And Peter Ainsworth has 3 goals now.
Yeah, he has. He's definitely been Moe's best forward, probably along with Farrell. But, yeah, when the ball goes in, he's good at ground level and he's good in the air for his size. And I'll tell you, I reckon Braganola off half-back there.
Yep.
A one-on-one contest in the air, then he butted up and hit a guy up on the wing, which released them forward. That was brilliant from Braganola.
Turnbull's Gippsland scoreboard sees the scores level again. Second time this quarter at 10 goals, 8 apiece. Well,
now the nerves start to kick back in again. Finals footy at its best. We could go to overtime. It's early, 7 minutes though. Blazer in the middle, had no prior opportunity. Well, they reset and go again. Structure-wise, Troy, all looks okay.
Yeah, nothing's changed really. Traralgon do have a man back. That man is Collison. Goes in his direction now. He flies. Doesn't quite bring it in. Contest at ground level. Ainsworth there. Collison goes in hard again. Moe players appealing for him that he's dragged the ball back in. No free kick forthcoming, and we'll have a ball up 40 metres out from Moe's goal. They're going to press again. Farrell knocks the ball forward. Hector working back there. Has Coxedge there for pressure. Coxedge trying to work him off the ball. Players put their head over it. Spills out to Wilson. Wilson links up over the top to Jackson McMahon. Now they release. Looking for Ambler. That's a nice hitter. Jackson McMahon finds Ambler. Ambler on the 45. Misses Stockdale. Wood cuts it off. Gets to 60. A high up and under. Fleming's going to fly from the back. Goes over the back of the contest. Oh, nasty bounce. Falls out to Prestige. Prestige dribbles it forward. The Traralgon players raffled it and left it. Left the raffle at the counter. And goes through for a minor score.
Well, they play on quickly. We'll come back to score in a moment, Paul, as now they're away. They're okay out wide. Hildebrand.
Moe have a 1-point lead now, 10-9-69 to 10-8-68.
McMahon now for Traralgon has it on the half-back flank. Nice little chiselling kick. Found Lopez on a strong lead. He's on true centre wing on the far side at the rec reserve in great sunlight now at Morwell. In the elimination final, Lopez down the line and Tommy Long spoils a big one over the top of Michael Burge's shoulder. And we'll have another boundary throw in. We've had a great crowd here on a Sunday afternoon. Churchill seem to be in big control down there against Sale City in the first semi-final, Troy.
They do, Darryl. They kicked 10 goals in the third quarter to open up a 36-point lead at three-quarter time.
That is all thanks to Harvey Norman Furniture.
Thank you. Boundary throw in on right half forward flank for Traralgon. As Moe have really turned it up in this third term. Morrow works to the front, drops it at his feet and has to gather again. Wood been lively early in this third term. Gets a high up and under. Farrell works his opponent under the ball. Ainsworth again at ground level. Spills back out to Collison. Shrugs off Wilson with a don't argue. His handball misses a target though. Biffin farms one forward. And great work there. It looks to be Jackson McMahon again. He's one for Traralgon, who's been very good in this third quarter. Collison releases wide, looking for Broadbent. Goes over his head. Biffin tracking back. Taps it in the path of Morrow. Morrow back to Biffin. Has players inside the corridor. Elects to go back down the line. Morrow has to snap it around his body. Goes straight in the path though of Wilson. He's under pressure. Able to get the handball forward to Ambler. Ambler knocks it forward. Fierce tackle on by Jacob Wood. He's really ramped up his play today in this final quarter. Really setting the tone for the Lions is Jacob Wood. Been involved in everything. We'll have a ball up on true centre wing outer side.
Great little work there by the Lions. We have a 1-point margin at the moment in favour of Moe. From that stoppage, Biffin couldn't get a boot to ball. Missed it. Holding man set a few of the spectators. Quick kick by Lee Stockdale up towards the 50. No one can mark again. Crashing his way through. Looks to be great little work there by White. Gave it off to Lopez. Left foot shot on goal. He locks it off the boot. I think it's home. It is. Dylan Lopez has now got 3 as well for the Maroons.
Yeah, and what happened then, boys? Moe elected to peel 2 off the contest, and Traralgon had 2 extras around the boundary throw-in, and that's where they won it from. A couple of quick little handballs and a brilliant finish from Dylan Lopez. And
that's his 3rd goal for the match and takes Traralgon to a 5-point lead at the 11-minute mark of the final quarter. 11-8-74 Traralgon on the Turnbull's Gippsland scoreboard. Moe are 10-9-69.
9th lead change of the game. Traralgon had in control.
Moe only with 3 in the middle again for the second time this afternoon. Traralgon might win it. Van Dyke was the one that should have been in there.
Off the back of the pack, Hector again.
wins it, gets it towards half forward at ground level. Loudon just lost it. Rennett's closes. Strong tackle. Loudon's got in bit of trouble. No, he had prior opportunity.
How do they continue to let Hayden Hector run off the back of the line? And Traralgon players know he's coming. They just don't even have to look sometimes. They just know he's going to be there.
Morrow tapped it clear out of that pack. He tried to crash through, did Hector. They thought it was holding the ball, the Lions supporters. Quick kick goes high up. Rennet and Loudon both fall over. Over the back. Marsh is there. Gets to 50. Handballs backwards now. North. Left foot chip kick to the top of the square. Lopez front spot. Good spoil. Front and square. Rode by McMahon. And Jackson McMahon slams it home. The Maroons get 2 in a row.
Absolute game of momentum, isn't it, boys? We can tell that with the lead changes, but when sides have been kicking one, they seem to be kicking another one, and then it goes the other way. I reckon Burgess tap on there, and that was the difference, and just created some space for the Traralgon forwards and another good finish.
And we have an 11-point lead at the 12-minute mark of the final quarter, and that is Traralgon in front, 12-8-80 on their Turnbull's Gippsland scoreboard. Moe are 10-9-69.
Watch this one off the back of the line there, boys. Hector, this time he doesn't commit. Goes over the back to Blazer. Can Moe get a clearance? Swings around on the left. Handballs forward to Wood. Links up, gets the 1-2. Now going through the middle. Handball over the top to Coxedge. Linking up play through Fleming. Fleming goes on the left. It's a high up and under. Not Wilson, it's Murphy sets himself. Comes to ground though. Traralgon can repel and rebound. They fumble the ball though and create a stoppage. Centre half forward there for the Lions. I thought maybe Wood could have wheeled around and got it in there quickly to Farrell one-on-one inside 50.
Yeah, a couple of those big moments for Monticello's. Blazer's kick from that stoppage was smothered. He might get a second shot. This time it's on the left foot, snap around the body. Farrell put 2 hands out, couldn't get it. Minor score, 13 minutes are gone. Turnbull's Gippsland scoreboard.
It's a 10-point lead to Traralgon, 12-8-80. Murray at 10-10-70.
They move it quick to the Maroons. They get it out wide to Marsh. We know he can run. He handballs out wide to a teammate. Looks to be, was it White or Little? Little it might have been. He got it towards the wing now. Musto drives it one-on-one. North and McKay. North has the sit. Goes to ground though. McKay does well for the Lions. Left foot kick back out. Good spoil over the top there from Van Dyke. No, it was Braganolo, and we've got a boundary throw in on the half-back flank of the Moe Lions side as they trail at the moment by 10 points. 13, make it 14 minutes now gone, final quarter. Troy Makepeace.
Another big quarter by Blazer, 7 disposals this quarter.
We take a small breather, but only for a brief second as Wood tries to break out of that pack, as does Blazer. He does, just wills himself. Has a 40-metre handball forward. Hector cuts it off, shrugs off one tackle, goes inboard to Marsh. Marsh through Vicenovic. Vicenovic on the left, reading the play nicely though is Braganolo, taking off, leading off from his man, Mark Strongly. Goes back from where it came though, that's where the numbers are going to be. Going to have flyers through Farrell at the front there for Traralgon. And also there is Morrow doing the crumbing. Handball to Ainsworth, he's held off the ball. Play on, says the umpire, soccer forward. No free kick, going backwards to Collison. He marks and just going to reassess things. Looking lateral, goes to Yench. Yench marks on the left back pocket. Is where Moe needs to be disciplined. Just slow this play, this exit. Outside defensive 50, that kick. Mark just inside the line to Jackson Hall. Goes inboard, has Cody Wilson. Now they open up the other side of the ground. Wilson finds Vicenovic. Plays on inside on the left boot. That's a nice kick. Looking for Darren White with an N. And White marks on the defensive side of centre wing. Goes down the line. Leprez works long off the ball. Gathers. Little dinky handball and
out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Boundary throw in. Half forward flank here for Traralgon. We are 15.5 minutes gone. 10-point margin in favour of the Maroons.
Big moments thanks to Monticello's. Corona Slopes $48 or 2 for 90. Quick kick goes forward towards the Traralgon forward line. Top of the 50 is where the football is at.
Ooh.
Yes, he did jump on it. The umpire said my ball.
You know when the umpire sort of stops and waits? He was going to do that, but then he called for my ball.
45 metres out from Traralgon's goal. Morrow hit it towards the boundary line. Braganolo's been fantastic this afternoon. Slides. He wins himself a free kick as he just slipped and then caught one over the shoulder. And Braganolo goes down the line. There's lots of numbers down there. Broadbent had the sit. Takes a nice mark. Good call.
It's been good, I reckon.
He has.
It's been a good battle.
Yep. As Broadbent goes short to Wilson. This guy's racking up the touches this afternoon. That's another left foot kick. Goes high to the point of the square. Backpedaling is Lopez. Front and square, snap around the body. Burge! And the veteran, the smart veteran down on the forward line can do it at either end of the ground. And Michael Burge has another one. He adds 2 to the day.
Well, for what Farrell's been doing up one end, LaPrace has been doing it up the other end for Traralgon, hasn't he, boys? Just another really good contest. 20 out from goal, allowed Burge to run onto it, and a beautiful snap in the forward pocket.
And that's now a 16-point lead to Traralgon at the 16-minute mark of the final term. On the Turnbull's Gippsland scoreboard, Traralgon are 13-8-86 to Moe 10-10-70. And Moe had better get the next goal if they're going to have any chance of getting anywhere.
Yeah, big moment. Thanks to Monticello's Troy Makepeace on TRFM.
Back in the middle. Broadbent knocks it forward, but read off the pack there by Biffin. Goes inside 50. Farrell has 2 to beat. Comes to ground. Jackson Hall hurries the kick outside defensive 50. Wood back there, tracks it nicely. Great chase down by Musto. He got a handball umpire, but he's holding the ball. Advantage paid. North leaves it behind. Now Hector there. He's under pressure, slips. Handball's back to Collison. Collison goes wide.
Look at Marsh.
Out on the Tate Marsh wing. Bounces, has 2. Gets to centre wing. Handballs over the top to his partner in crime, Jackson McMahon. He's got a lovely boot on him today. Finds Burge leading up 60 metres from goal. On the outer side, bathed in sunshine. Measures, chips one forward. Great work by Yuri. Strong hands out in front. That match-up between Yuri and Braganolo has been one of the day. Braganolo has had his moments. Chris Yuri has as well. He has 2. Lining up for his 3rd. This would almost ice the game for the Maroons. We have a 16-point margin where most quarters, first 3 quarters have gone around the 27-28 minute mark. So we're looking at around 10 minutes to go. Still time for the Lions. This will make it extremely difficult. Puts the ball on the boot. Wills it to come back to the left, but it doesn't. And goes through for a minor score.
Traralgon now 13-9-87, leading by 17 points over Moe, who are 10-10-70 on the Turnbull's Gippsland scoreboard.
See Peter and the team at Turnbull's Toyota Sale and Yarram today. As playing on quickly out of fullback is Long. Nice kick to Biffin. Handballs over the top to McKay. McKay gets outside his 50. Now left foot kick towards the wing. Over the back, big strong. No, not quite. Again, Reese comes to ground. Braganolo puts boot to ball and kicks it to space. He's looking for touch. Does it bounce? It does. It's a Moe. Well, it normally does if it comes down from the sky. It was a Moe bounce. No one could really win it, though. Marsh has got plenty of toe, and he wins it. Handballs over the top to Broadbent, who can give it back to Marsh. Over the top they go to Ambler. He can stroll in, has a bounce, goes to 50, has a shot, or it goes to the top of the square. Over the back. Can't quite mark it there was Gordian, and it was rushed through for a minor score.
3 straight goals, a difference now. 13-10-88 Traralgon, Moe 10-10-70.
The last kick in, Darryl, the Moe players were calling it to go straight down the middle. This time, because there was a quick play on.
Jacob Wood
is going in that direction. Scuzz comes off. Wood has Van Dyke if he goes quickly. Goes in that direction. No, he checks his kick at the last minute, and he has Coxedge out wide, right half-back flank. Moe need to get a move on.
Need some run, don't they?
Just need to have some dare, need to take some chances. Coxedge goes on down the line. Wood's going to fly from the back. Doesn't even fly, just sits there and it falls in his lap. As Lachlan Reese broke the pack open. Wood goes inside the corridor, has Blazer. Blazer plays on. Handballs dangerously inside the corridor.
Oh, well done, Biffin.
Strong. Back to Long. Long hits up Farrell with a nice pass. Marks 55 metres out. Goes back to Tommy Long, takes on Cameron, bounces, runs to 40, puts the ball on the boot, going towards goal. Jackson Hall tracks back and marks right on the last line of defence.
Umpire calls the man on the mark in Wilson back a couple. On the last line, now he plays on. Hall, nice kick to Hector. In the shadows of the trees here at the Rec Reserve in front of the scoreboard, goes back into the goal square where Jackson Hall, where Collison is. Marks and clears it out wide, tries to get it out over the top and allows Marsh to run onto it. Prestige does well though. Long was there over the back. He took possession of the football under extreme pressure, went to ground, and we'll have a stoppage. 21 minutes gone. We're now into time on.
This where time now is a major factor for the Lions. They need a goal. They need a goal very quickly. Farrell knocks it back, held off the ball there and winning himself a free kick. Looks to be Musto. Musto's got to go back behind the mark.
18-point margin now, Troy. Big moment is right now, as you said. They must quickly get the turnover and get it inside 50 for a shot.
Musto goes forward. That's a nice pass. He finds Stockdale, marks on centre wing. Again, he gets the flappy hands out and calls for calm. Goes wide, looks to be North on the outer wing. As they're just taking the sting out of any momentum that Moe may look to muster. North goes long down the line. Grech can't quite bring it down. Goes inboard to Van Dyke. Has a player in Farrell. Farrell goes backwards. Misses Renitz. Renitz goes back and wins it. Gets the ball inside the corridor. The bounce is critical here. Vucenovic does really well. Hacks it forward on the left boot. Goes to Cody Wilson. Wilson runs inside 50. Ball on the boot. Is that the game? No. Braganolo.
Didn't he mark it?
I thought he marked it. The umpire was called for a behind.
Yep, sure did.
Handy behind
Handy
that.
point.
It's 19 points now. 3 goals, 1. So it means Moe have to score at least 4 times.
Well, Braganolo comes to the near side. Grandstand it is. Reese couldn't quite mark it. McKay was there at ground level. Slides over. Jackson Hall wraps him up. And the stoppages now, they have to be daring.
13-11-89 Traralgon. Moe 10-10-70 Turnbull's Gippsland scoreboard.
Very hard to see Moe to fight back from there. It's inside Traralgon's forward half. Knocked forward. Hector. Great tackle.
Good tackle.
That could be it. Coxedge needs to get up and get the ball moving. That tackle there on Gordian. Just got to go quick. Move the ball. Take a chance. No, he is idle. There's no reason.
There, though.
Just
go.
You just got to go. Go inside the corridor. Go on a 45. Just try and hit a target you may not normally go for, and something might open up.
Yeah, they're
Even
just holding on to it again. They go back this way now. Biffin, here's the run. Biffin gets to 50. Defensive, that is. Comes towards the wing. Ainsworth just on the ground. Crashed his way through. Farmer tries to help out. So does Murphy. They're at ground level as well now. No one can really win it out. Traralgon won the stoppage. They'll get one. And we're now down into 23.5 minutes gone. 19-point margin.
Need to even up the numbers too, boys, I reckon, or they are now. Or there's still one behind the play here for Traralgon.
Well, there's a couple sort of start to drop out. Wilson from that stoppage was good. Kicks it high, back inside. He's forward 50. Lopez nearly claimed it. Good little smother, though, on Reese. Goes to the boundary on Least. Puts it to the hot spot. Back there is Yuri Marks. Plays on, strolls in, and he has put that on Buckley Street. It's gone. Traralgon at home. Moe, the season's all done. They're going to go on and play Sale next week.
And Buckley Street's about 10k away too, but if you don't know more very well. How long do you reckon, boys? There'd be 6 minutes at the most.
That's
if that, yeah. So it's going to be really hard from here. I've thought the whole way through this last quarter, just the way Moe have scored. They've scored really quick, but I think time might have just caught up with them a little bit here.
And on the Turnbull's Gippsland scoreboard, that lead is now 25 points, which would mean Moe'd have to kick 5 goals in about 5 minutes. 14-11-95 Traralgon to Moe 10-10-70.
You might be surprised where that footy did end up, but I tell you, it's not coming back. We've got a new one. We have a new one about to, play with a brand new spanking footy for about 4 minutes.
I think the nursing home behind the croquet club has just found themselves a nice new Sherrin that they can kick around.
10 years ago, there would have been 15 kids over the fence trying to grab that.
Yep. Not anymore. Might see it on eBay later on tonight. Up there they go in the middle. Traralgon seem to be home now. Blazer a handball over the top to Wood. Gets one over the shoulder, then shrugs it. Handball's back inboard. In there was Van Dyke. Got it further afield. Di Virgilio from 50 goes high and long. It's 3-on-1 and Ainsworth's the one, and he can't get it. Going back nicely, there is Hall.
Yep.
Hall comes into the pocket where Collison, who's had a great comeback game this afternoon, the coach of Traralgon, from a major knee injury. He's missed about 12 weeks in total, 10 games of footy, and he's been certainly influential. He kicked it to Farrell, though, who gave it to Blazer. They kick it back inboard and hope for someone to take a mark. They can't do so. The numbers favour Traralgon. Jensch gave it to Collison, who kicks out wide, and they've got numbers everywhere through Hector.
Hector runs through half-back flank, chips one over the top to Jackson McMahon. He plays on, looking upfield. Yuri, strong lead. That was an 80-metre lead. Leaves it behind, though. Spills out the back to Fleming. Fleming over the top to Prestige. Prestige from centre wing, goes a high up and under, one-on-one contest. Floating in from the side is Hall. He spills it. Ground level is Murphy. Murphy tries to get the return volleyball there. goes to Farmer. Farmer hacks the ball forward, bounces. Collison tracks back nicely, gathers. Nice little handball into Ambler, releases, goes outside defensive 50. Rennett's closing. Oh, strong work by Loudon marking in front of Rennett's. Plays on quickly, goes forward with a long drop punt. Working back there is Hildebrand. Hildebrand marks behind Reese, and we'll get this inside 50 for Traralgon.
Lopez on his own.
Goes quickly in the Lopez direction, flies in from the side. At ground level is Yuri. Yuri on the left boot. That's it. Game over. 4 goals, Chris Yuri, and Traralgon have kicked 6 in this last term.
Yeah, as Mark Collison comes off, boys, that's the game for sure. They'll rest him up now, get him ready for a massive week next Sunday, boys. Where's that one at, Maffra?
At Maffra, correct, yep.
Big game against Sale. That's going to be a ripper as well as the other game, the Maffra-Langatha.
Chris Yuri becomes the game's biggest goal kicker with 4, and Murray and Traralgon's lead now 31 points on the Turnbulls Gippsland scoreboard. 15-11, 101 to Murray, 10-10-70.
Such a smart footballer as Chris Yuri. Keeps his feet strong and is good at kicking the football, good at kicking goals. There was a master stroke. We thought he'd play in the middle. Good work by Wilson. Gave a handball to Ambler. They got one more left in them, Traralgon, as Murray's season is coming to an end in 2018. And the last time that James Blazer will coach this outfit. Collison, though, will go again. Back down there was Long in terms of one more week, Troy. Not talking about next year.
I was going to say, there was a change of heart.
No, just talking about next week.
Yes.
So,
spot on, Daryl.
The boundary throw-in, we're at the top of the 50. We've gone 28 minutes. The margin now is out to a 31-game high.
Siren shouldn't be too far away, you'd think, Daryl. And some supporters are starting to leave. McKay leaves it behind. Hildebrand puts his head over it, tackled strongly by Pearce, and we'll have another ball up right on the 50-metre line. As what was an absolutely fantastic game has just petered out as Traralgon just put the foot down the last 10 minutes and put the game to bed. And another ball up. Farrell knocks it in the path, this time though of Cody Wilson. Kick forward to the top of the square. Yuri again. Can't bring this one in. Spills out the back. Pearce tackled straight away. It might be Reese. Lachlan Reese, who tracked back, wins himself a free kick and will relieve pressure for the Lions. Comes near side.
Kicks towards the target of Hildebrand. Van Dijk will spoil, but it doesn't matter. The final siren has sounded here at Morwell, and the elimination final victory goes to Traralgon as they win at 15 goals, 11-101, have defeated Moe 10-10-70. And Chris Yuri had 4 goals. Dylan Lopez has kicked 3 for the victors, along with Burge 2, McMahon 2, and Darren White 2. In what was a great game of football, Nathan Scurra has been at the boundary line this afternoon for Carpet Country, and he has one of the hard, tough nuts of this Traralgon side in Hayden Hector.
Yeah, I got Hayden Hector with me, boys. Obviously, quality game, mate. Up and down, really quick style game today. Probably suited you guys, that quick run and the way you handled the ball today.
Yeah, it definitely suits us, that fast ball movement there. We try to use that slingshot, that slingshot turnover. So that really does suit us, that up and down, good weather. So, and it was, they definitely pushed us in that, but it was good the boys pulled through.
Yeah, I thought your composure today in a really big final, obviously an elimination final, stuck to your game plan. I thought your composure especially was really good.
Yeah, we just try to, that's the main focus, and that stick to the structures and that, and everything else will work itself out.
Obviously off the back of the square a bit today, mate. Were you surprised? A couple of times there they just let you roam free, and you did pick up a lot of possessions coming out of that back half from the centre bouncers.
Yeah, I had a bit of help from the back line and that. They were putting a block on here and there and that, and then I don't know what happened to him, but he just didn't want to bar it after that.
Obviously next week, mate, you go into next week's game against Sale. A lot of enthusiasm. You must be really confident after a win like that.
Yeah, definitely. Like, the boys will take a lot out of this, and then we're just playing week by week, so we'll get back on the track and just really put in, and then see what happens on next Sunday.
Well done, mate. Enjoy the win. Good play. Well played today.
Great work, Nathan Scurra. Hayden Hector, one of the stars this afternoon. As we called it through the game, Troy, I think you mentioned as well, his ability to run off that half-back line, as Nathan just asked that question, but he did get the help, didn't he? You mentioned a few times a bit of a bump, a bit of a shepherd here and there, and allowed him to get through and get free. Yeah,
and you can tell it frustrated the Lions as well, as we saw in the last quarter. They gave away a free kick off the back of the line, trying to stop that run. Very good ploy. It worked to great effect. They just linked up. one time there it was Jackson McMahon as well, so that made it even more confusing for the Lions, as they didn't know who it was that was going to be coming off the back of the line. Very, very good play. They backed their mids to win their hands on the footy, clear that 1 metre area, which they were very, very good in today, and they moved the ball really well going forward. Very dangerous team, the Maroons. They linked up right from their back line, as we mentioned pre-game. They generate a lot of their scoring options from the back half of the ground. They did that again today, and were just too good for Moe in the end. Who challenged? They were gallant, were the Lions, but Traralgon just far too strong in the end.
Well, they move into a first semi-final next week. As we said, it'll be played on Sunday out there at Maffra. They'll take on Sale in a really big game, but today it was all Traralgon, 15 goals, 11-101, and Moe 10-10-70. A 31-point victory, and they're going to sing this song nice and loud. Enjoy it, Maroons fan. Victorious this afternoon in the big elimination final here at Morwell. After the break, we'll have the interviews out of the rooms, all the key stats, and we'll let you know about next week's games. It's going to be a big one. You're listening to Gippsland Live on TRFM, and we do it for Harvey Norman Electrical.
The Rebel Club Sandown 500 is the 14th to the 16th of September, and Optus and TRFM wants you to take your mates to the V8s. We've got the ultimate package for you and 3 mates. That includes a V8 supercar hot lap for one of you. Conditions apply. Listen out for the V8 to scream across your speakers at any time this week. Be the nominated caller, and you'll instantly win a double pass to the Sandown 500 and be in the exclusive draw for the ultimate experience. Take your mates to the V8s with Optus. Are you with Optus yet? The Rebel Club Sandown 500